Orioles, I'm Masson, and the Orioles are back home as they take on the Toronto Blue Jays, staying in the American League East. This is a short 3-game set here at home, but vital games in the division. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, and welcome. For the Orioles, it was quite a roller coaster ride on that road trip. I mean, they went to Houston, faced the world champions, and the world champions beat them. They went to New York, wondering what it was going to be like against a New York team that is supposedly loaded, and is, and came away with some tremendous games. None better, I thought, than yesterday, with a play to be remembered. We've asked around, not many can remember ever seeing a 1-2-5 double play. So watch it and enjoy it, because it doesn't happen very often. This is the situation. Didi Gregorius is on. Judge, there's one, and there's two. Beckham's wise enough to get back to the bag. Caleb Joseph never hesitated. Believe it or not, that is something they work on in spring training, and you see Beckham shaking his head. That's a big play. You get the run at the plate, you take the lead runner, and then you got a rubber arm in the bullpen. Richard Blyer. He has now thrown in 6 games, 8 2/3 innings. His record is 2-0. Look at the ERA, 1.04. And he's getting the job done by getting ground balls, that sinker working. Mike Bordick, they're happy to be home, but they had quite a trip.
Wow, what a series up in New York. To bounce back, though, I think the way they did after that Houston series, you mentioned the world champs. I mean, what are you going to do out there? But they were up. They could have won 2 out of 3 of those ball games. So I think there was a little bit of confidence going. Their offense started to pick up a little bit. And then, of course, Cashner, I think, set the tone that first night with a strong starting performance. That extra inning win really seemed to bring that team together, and that's why yesterday was such a huge win. I mean, this team, never say die approach. I mean, Gentry making the incredible play in the 10th inning out in left field to preserve this potential win here and keep them from being walked off by the Yankees. That defensive play by Caleb Joseph was as special as you're going to see. I mean, a couple years ago, we saw Machado turn around and flip it to J.J. Hardy, get the out at third base. It's that type of heady baseball stuff that's what baseball's all about. It's a chess game out there. Who's the smartest guy on the field? Who's going to make that big play? Keep a double play in order. Come up with a huge play to inspire your team. Are you kidding me? Brad Brock was a different pitcher after that double play, and he just blew Stanton away. I mean, it was impressive, and I don't know that we can say enough about Blyer.
Yeah, it really was fun. And for the Orioles, you get a sense of who they are as a team. They begin to get a sense of who they are as a team. Caleb Joseph saying, I get a feeling this is like 2014. This is a resilient team. That team had a lot of comfort behind wins, had a lot of games where they looked to be out of it. They weren't. He senses that's this team.
Well, I'll tell you what. It comes from trusting each other, bottom line. And the trust comes from wins like that. It comes from the late inning big hits. And this team is hitting. 6th inning, 7th inning on, they're getting their big hits. They trust each other right now. And really, that's the key to having a successful team. I know there's a lot of talk about chemistry, maybe not being so much. It's true. It's a real thing. And these guys came together on that series up at Yankee Stadium.
All right, we'll see if they can hold it here. Toronto team is playing some really good baseball right now, picking up key hits, hitting some home runs. Blue Jays Orioles Game 1. and by Ocean City. There's no end to the fun you'll have in Ocean City. Plan your trip today at ococean.com. Kind of hard to believe that these two teams last year would have played with pitching being the primary part of the series. You would expect home runs, a lot of offense, pitchers to have high ERAs, but no, that's not what happened. Take a look at these numbers, especially at the bottom. The starter and bullpens were outstanding in the series, and contrary to years that have gone by before last year where it was all about home runs and offense, last year was all about pitching. So what's this year going to look like? There's still two powerful teams. Will it be about the pitching again?
Spangled banner yet wave o'er the lands of the free and the home of the brave.
Two national anthems performed with Toronto in town on this, yes, cool evening. Take a look at game time temperature brought to you by BGE Home. We know more, we do more. It is only 44 degrees under overcast skies. There's been a very light drizzle at times in the last couple of hours, but both teams able to get out and get their work in on the field. Let's take a look with the Jays coming in at the starting lineup. John Gibbons' team will have the veteran Curtis Granderson leading it off. Donaldson Smoke, former Oriole Steve Pearce, Morales, Russell Martin, Pilar, Travis, and Diaz, who's getting most of the shortstop time this year for them. Curtis Granderson leads the team against the Orioles with the 20 home runs and 61 RBIs.
Yeah, let's take a look at Dylan Bundy's pitch arsenal this season. He's got the dominant four-seam fastball, but he plays a healthy slider off of that. He's using it over 25% of the time. His location with that pitch and the movement he's getting in the zone is incredible, and Dylan Bundy's on a nice little roll. Not getting a lot of offensive support to win ball games, but take a look at these numbers. 2 starts on the year, .69 earned run average. He has been dominant. 15 punch outs and only 3 walks on Bundy's resume here to start this season. Opponents hitting just .213. The righties not much of a chance with that slider. 125. He's moving his fastball around and playing the slider off that. He's got the big curve, and he's also got a devastating change to go along with it. And Dylan Bundy's working pretty well right now, kind of picking up where he left off last season.
He has the perfect record against Toronto. He is 3-0 against them with an amazing .76 ERA. That's 2 earned runs in the 23 2/3 innings he has worked against them. 3 career starts against Toronto, 22 strikeouts, 2 walks in 3 starts. I mean, he has just dominated Toronto in the previous starts he's had against them. So he'll try and do that again tonight. Curtis Granderson, the veteran, will lead it off. Granderson's off to a great start. He has hits in 4 of the 6 starts. .316 average in the games that he has started. He scored 3 runs. Veteran, always a tough out at the top. Beckham in at third, and the pitch in for a strike, and we are underway.
Yeah, Granderson, a great veteran player with power. So you got to be careful with him at the top of the lineup. Obviously off to a great start offensively, hitting over .350.
One of those guys at the top of the order who hits leadoff home runs. Breaking ball is going to catch the inside corner for a strike. Granderson has 45 leadoff home runs. That's the 6th most all time. And only Ian Kinsler among active players has more. He'll come inside a little further, and a 1-ball 2-strike count.
Dylan Bundy moving the fastball around a little bit, but really establishing it inside. I mean, a key to Dylan Bundy's success, and any pitcher, if they're going to have success in the major leagues, is ability to locate that fastball in.
That'll bounce away. So Granderson will keep it alive here in a 2-ball 2-strike count. Granderson comes in with a 4-game hit streak. For Toronto, they are 6-4, 2.5 games behind Boston. Orioles 4-6. They are 4.5 behind the Red Sox. John Gibbons, skipper over there, looking on. 2-2 delivery will be punched down the line left field. Long run. Mancini over. Will not have a play as that one will end up in the seats.
Trying to sneak that fastball by him on the outside corner after 3 efforts inside. And you get Granderson a little pull happy. You think about that front hip leaking a little bit. And Bundy trying to expose it with the heater away.
Toronto has started out with a 2-0-1 series record. They won the rubber match in Texas. He went around on that one, no question. So Granderson gets fooled on it, and a strikeout for Dillon.
Nasty breaking ball right here. Dylan Bundy more than 12-6 hook. Talked about his slider, that power pitch on the outside corner, but the lefties, he's going to be throwing changeups and the big curveball. It is nasty. And when you talk about rotation, the spin rate guys are getting on balls nowadays. Dylan Bundy, one of the highest with his fastball and breaking ball. It helps that breaking ball because it kind of hovers in front of home plate, and then there's that nasty finish on the end.
Here's Josh Donaldson back in the field playing at third base. He's had a problem with the dead arm. That ball will be fouled away. Says he's all right now, so back into the position. He'd been DHing a little bit, but that's very hard for Toronto to do, because if he DHs, Genders Morales ends up maybe not playing, and they can't have that. They've got to have his bat in the lineup. Here's the 0-1 delivery on the way, and that will be fouled away, so he goes after the first 2 with a couple of pretty good cuts.
Boy, Dylan Bundy's location and command of his pitches right now, really masterful. I mean, painting the outside corner right there. It's all about executing pitches, working the inner third, then back out to the outer third. I mean, start of the season, after he throws a nice heater, that's when he buries the slider.
0-2 delivery will be tapped foul. Donaldson has gone 2 for 7. Lifetime off Dylan Bundy. A lot of at-bats against the Orioles and a really strong 271 lifetime average against Oriole pitching. He's been one of the many hot hitters on this team. This ball club's picking up big hits, a lot of hits with runners in scoring position. Donaldson a chopper. He had to go up for that one. 3 hopper goes to second. Scope will make the play. 2 down.
Let's take a look at the Oriole defense behind Dylan Bundy this evening. Mancini, Jones, and Santander roaming the outfield. Machado and Scope up the middle. Beckham and Davis on the corners, and Caleb Joseph doing the catching tonight.
First back in after a day off yesterday. Smoke's going to do the DHing in the ball game tonight. John Gibbons trying to rotate these guys around so they get a little rest. They felt they overused Smoke last season. Did not get him off the field enough, but they want that bat in the lineup. 2 for 5 off Bundy. There's the breaking ball that will miss for a ball. He is tied right now with Didi Gregorius in the American League for the RBI lead after the first week of play, as he and Gregorius have both driven in 10. 1-0 pitch to him. That's going to be a foul ball outside of first.
And Justin Smoke, so dangerous last year, a monster season, career year, and starting off where he left off last year. 10 RBI, get going. Big jump there.
Looking for a clean inning. Dylan Bundy shift on against Smoke. Outfield deep. Not a lot of breeze here to start the ball game, thank goodness. The wind chill factor would be something to contend with too. So it's here's kind of still. Little breeze out to left once in a while. There's Scope way out there in right field. Pop back out of play. Dylan Bundy looking for his first win. The 2 outstanding starts against Minnesota, Houston. He went 7 innings, no runs, 5 hits. Minnesota. 6 innings, Houston, 1 run earned, 2 total. That came on just 5 hits, but non-decisions. Swing and a miss. Bundy picks up right where he left off. So a couple of strikeouts as he retires the side in order. No chance on that one. games here, of course, and only 3 games here in this short homestand. Let's take a look at the Orioles lineup, brought to you by Southwest. Low fares, nothing to hide. That's transparency. Mancini, Machado, and Scope. Jones, Davis, and Valencia. Beckham, Santana, and Joseph. Jonathan Scope, 11 long fly balls against Toronto.
And let's take a look at Mr. Happ, veteran pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays. Last year, some arm problems, limited his innings, but still got some good stuff. And 4-seam fastball, his go-to pitch.
Ray Mancini leading it off.
Now, he can get the fastball up there about 90, 95 miles an hour, but he can locate it. He moves around, pitches at the top of the zone. He's got all 4, but fastball's go-to pitch.
Mancini continuing to hold down that leadoff spot, try and continue to keep the pace up against Happ. For Trey, 231 mark, but he's hit 311, 316 since moving into the leadoff spot. Pitch taken up high, 6 for 19 in 4 games. Batting first in the Orioles lineup.
Yeah, nice little shakeup. Of course, Chris Davis, that experiment didn't go too well to start the season. Mancini.
That one's going to go into right field for a base hit. Had to chop down on a pitch coming in. Happ kind of looked down like, how did that get into right field? But it did. Mancini's on.
Hey, Trey's trying to do something different every time up there, because every time up it seems like he hits a bullet right at somebody. Nice to see him pick up a little seeing eye single the other way. Trey Mancini knows it is a big field and he uses every inch of it. Nice piece of hitting. Get on base.
So the Orioles get the leadoff man on, and that will bring up Manny Machado. Manny has a 3-game hit streak, has upped his average to 310. Getting his bat going in the series in New York. He's always done well against Toronto. Pitch by Happ will be taken inside. Happ has struggled against the Orioles, particularly of late. He lost all 3 games he started against them last year. His record is 4-6 for his career. Didn't get a lot of run support last season in those tight games that were played between these 2 teams.
Well, Happ creates a little bit of a problem, and we talk about that fastball, in that he likes to move it around the zone. You see him pitch into Manny, then up to the top of the zone, then he'll pitch away with the heater, and he creates that nice angle that we always talk about with pitchers. He's like 6'6", 6'5", 6'6", so he can get on top of the baseball, and just tough for hitters to get on top of it.
Pitch will be taken up high. Manny in the New York series went 7 for 19, 368. In the 4 games in New York. Lifetime against Toronto brings a 279 mark in with 15 home runs against Jays pitching. Outfield shaded to right, very deep. Off speed delivery miss.
How about Manny Machado last series in New York? Wow, did he get the bat going? 368, a couple home runs, 5 RBI, and look at this defensive gem. We've seen him do it so many times at third base. It's starting to show up at shortstop. Big series for Manny Machado.
3-1 count. Mancini held at first base, and a swing and a foul tip into the mitt. Got that one up a little bit, and Happ got away with it.
Well, there's that good fastball, 4-seamer, top of the zone, and it's just that extra rotation that rides up through the top. It just gets up over that bat head if there's any kind of dip.
So a full count, 3-2. Mancini on at first base. And Manny will take the pitch outside, so the Orioles get it going. First 2-1.
Now let's take a look at the Blue Jays defense behind Happ, Granderson, Pilar, and Pierce in the outfield. Diaz going to start at shortstop. Travis over at second base. Donaldson third. Morales first base, and the veteran backstop Russell Martin doing the catching.
So the Orioles will try and get on the board here in the first inning via Jonathan Scope. Scope will stand in. This is where the Orioles have struggled early. They're batting just .203 as a team, which is the 3rd lowest average with runners in scoring position in the American League. Up against the team in Toronto, it's hitting .348. Pitch is taken for a strike. They get 2 on here. Jonathan Scope off Happ, a .269 career average, and Jonathan try and get one against the left-hander. He has not had a hit yet with a runner in scoring position. He has gone 0 for 9 early on this year, and will foul that one back. One kept down and away, 0-2.
A good pass on a tough pitch. 91 miles an hour, maybe a little 2-seamer working away from Scope, but the location perfect right there. Hap's got a good two-seam fastball. He's got a great four-seam fastball. Problem is he falls in love with the heater. He throws about 70% fastballs. When hitters start timing that up, boy, they've been whacking him.
And the pitch came inside and got him. That's a big pitch. Caught the inside corner. Hap gets the strikeout. 1 down.
There you go, moving that heater around, and then he brings the noise. 94, painting on that inside corner. That's some cheese right across the knees. And Jonathan Scope not liking the call, but the fact that Hap likes to work away, he showed a couple fastballs away, really opened up that inner edge.
So Scope retired. That'll bring up Adam Jones at 2 on and 1 down. Hap's 2 outings against the Yankees, 3 runs, 4 hits, 4 2/3. Against the White Sox, he gave up 4 runs, 7 hits, and 5 1/3. That was his last outing. Runners on first and second. Big uppercut going to be fouled off. Adam getting his average up a little bit and would love to do some more against the left-hander, as Adam 2 for 11 with runners in scoring position so far this season. Against Hap, he's had a couple of long balls. 250 hitter against this left-hander.
Yeah, he's pretty familiar with him. 40 at bats he's had off Hap.
0-1 count. Trey Mancini, lead runner. Machado at first. 92, got that one. Another one up there. So it is Adam Jones against Jay Happ today by AARP.
Pretty good numbers right there. 40 at bats, couple home runs. Happ making some good pitches. His first debut.
0-2 the count. Left-hander looks back. Adam goes after one a little higher. So Happ finding some success with that fastball up high.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of pitchers, they use the top of the zone. I mean, those heaters look nice coming in. I mean, right at your eyes. They look like beach balls, but it stays true. That's the thing about the high heater. And you get the spin rate up there, just like Dylan Bundy. I mean, Dylan Bundy's not a tall pitcher, and sometimes, you know, you think, okay, if he's under 6 feet, everything's on the same plane. But Dylan Bundy creates angle, and he creates that spin rate that lets that fastball right up through the zone. Happ kind of the same way.
Chris Davis. Happ has been just unmerciful on left-handers. 198 was the batting average by lefties against him last year, 6th lowest in the American League, and this year left-handers are hitting 143 off Happ. 0-1 delivery on the way, taken for a strike. Chris, of course, having problems anyway, trying to get this season going at the plate. Had the day off yesterday, not feeling well. Back in the lineup today. He's had only 3 hits and 30 at bats. 1 home run, 1 RBI. That's a 100 batting average. 0-2 the count, 2-1, and moved outside with it, and a 1-ball 2-strike count.
Yeah, you saw those good numbers though against the Blue Jays, so that's going to help Chris Davis's confidence. Buck Showalter talks time and time again. If he can get the big man going, boy, what a dangerous offense. I mean, I'm waiting for Davis to start making more consistent contact, and I think once that starts to happen, you're going to see balls leaving the yard.
1-2 delivery, and he got him. So he ends up striking the side out as the first 2 got on, and the next 3 all K'd. Happ. There's the strikeout, 2 left. Well, young career, but it certainly is off to a great start.
No, it sure is. You know, we talk about Dylan Bundy's slider, that power slider, but his fastball is really what separates him. When we were just talking that last inning about his spin rate on his heater, his ability to ride that heater to the top of the zone. Well, how about the highest single game swinging strike totals on 4-seam fastballs? And Bundy is right there. 10 he had against the Astros this year. I mean, his first start, pretty impressive stuff right there against the Nationals, one of the better hitting teams. So Bundy's fastball and that spin rate he possesses is just a huge weapon.
That'll be foul back as the former Oriole Steve Pearce will stand in. Steve's off to a great start with a couple of home runs, 3 RBIs. He homered on the first pitch of the game yesterday in Texas. He has now homered in back-to-back games, 9th time in his career that he has done that. Shift on in the infield, and Bundy will put a little heat outside.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, when you look at the Bundy fastball, it's not that 97, 98 mile an hour heater. I mean, he's great with his location and just the.
That'll go to the hole. How about that? He only had about a foot either way on Manny with a shift on, and he found the hole. And he's on with a base hit to lead off the second inning.
Yes, Steve Pearce just spanking one through that 5-6 hole changeup that he gets on top of, and look at that one scoot through the infield.
That'll be hit number 500 for Steve Pearce. Real good teammate everywhere he's been. Orioles really loved having him on the ball club, and he's doing a good job for Toronto. Now he's on, and that will bring Morales up. Dylan Bundy last year, left-handers hit 261, right-handers hit 222. Those numbers kind of holding true early this year. Left-handers have gone 7 for 23 against Dylan. And the pitch, a breaking ball, will miss down low to Morales. Morales only 1 for 10 off Dylan Bundy. This is when Dylan gets tough. More guys on base, harder it is to do anything against him. Last season, there was somebody on, opponents hit just 211, and if the bases were empty, 261. 1-0 delivery on the way, and that ball smacked to the gap in right center field. Good read by Pearce. Got to cut it off. Adam Jones comes over to get it, and they'll hold the runner at third, and they got it in time to hold him to a single. So Morales gets a base hit up the middle. The outfield was deep, so they were able to cut that off and hold him.
Morales has raked the Orioles here at Camden Yards to a tune of about 322, 6 home runs, 24 RBI. So you just hope to contain him here, and he whistles one out in the gap. Nice job cutting that one off, keeping the double play in order, getting that ball right back into the infield.
So here's where Toronto is just bounded ahead of everybody. 348 as a team with runners in scoring position, number 1. Exactly the opposite of what they did last year at the start, as they couldn't get anybody home. John Gibbons Ball Club has turned that around so far this year. We'll see what they do. First and third, the Orioles with nobody out will play back for 2, and a wild cut on a pitch by Martin on a pitch way outside.
Yeah, just selling out on the fastball right there. Just thinking about a heater, and Dylan Bundy and Caleb Joseph on the same page. Expose him a little bit. And right out of his hand, he's swinging at that fastball, but it's that nasty slider.
Martin's got a 2 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Down at first base seems to be a problem here with Morales, as a timeout was asked for, and they called for the trainer after that last pitch. And Kendrys Morales having problems moving around down there.
Huh. Well, he's not too fleet of foot anyway, and you're wondering why he wasn't standing on second base. Let's take a look at this swing and see how he looks running out of the box. Running pretty well right there.
And limps.
Yeah, and then kind of limping in. So may have re-aggravated an old injury, or might have tweaked something right there.
So John Gibbons up, hanging on to the back there where the hammy is. This weather obviously poses problems in that regard for so many of these athletes who are so bound muscle wise that it doesn't take much. You get a cold weather where they don't get loose enough, don't get warmed up, and you can pull some muscles.
Right, that's the thing about baseball. I mean, it's tough. If it's a cold night, you know, you just can't stay warm enough on the field. You know, in the dugouts they might have heaters, or you can run up into the clubhouse, but yeah, you're hot, cold, and if you sweat and then you start freezing out there, it just doesn't bode well for healthy muscles.
So Martin will go after the chopper. They got the runner trapped. Maybe Beckham, and they got him. Outstanding play again. The Orioles finding ways to get runners at third base in New York yesterday, and now Dylan Bundy, as Pierce came off the bag.
Yeah, beautiful play right there. In spring training, they're taught to recognize the distance that runner at third gets off. Dylan Bundy did not hesitate. We've seen so many heady plays by these Oriole players. I mean, another one right there. Tim Beckham in a nice spot. That is a huge out for the Orioles and Bundy.
Wow. So the Orioles now believe runners at first and second after getting at third. You see how he blocked the bag, and there's nothing wrong with that. You're going to come in hand first. Your chances of getting hurt are pretty good when you're in a slide like that. That's why it's not advised, but everybody today does it. Gibbons is holding play up to his video people taking a look, I'm sure, on whether or not he was safe or out. It looked like he was out by quite a good deal on that.
Yeah, it didn't look like he ever got his hand in there.
They're going to take Morales out of the game. Morales had moved down to second base. Solarte, who has been playing a lot, is going to come on. He will be at first base, perhaps. They may shuffle around a bit. So Morales out of there. Looked like with a hamstring problem, but that's just based on what he was doing, hanging on to the back part of that leg.
Yeah, we saw, of course, the Yankees kind of having some injury problems. So the Blue Jays last year, I mean, they were just decimated with injuries with their rotation. And the last thing they need is that injury bug to start plaguing them again.
Yeah, and he's been a big offensive player for them. So first and second occupied, and the pitch will be taken down low for a ball. Kevin Pillar at the plate, getting the start in center field. He's had a couple of hits, 10 at bats off Bundy. Good start for Pillar, hitting at 270. More speed now, obviously, with Solarte out there at second base. And a breaking ball gets away, but blocked. Caleb Joseph able to hold it out in front of him and holds the runners.
Yeah, Oriole catchers have been doing a nice job blocking baseballs here lately. My goodness, beautiful job sliding over, getting that chest in front of it, just killing it right there on the dirt. And of course, Caleb Joseph's head is up every time checking the runners.
2-0 count. Pillar with Travis waiting on deck. Pitch will be taken inside. Count will go to 3-0. 3-0 count with one down. Toronto trying to mount something here. The Orioles one big defensive play to get that lead out at third. Try and help the cause. On the way, pitch is down low, 4 in a row out of the strike zone, and Dylan Bundy will load him up with a walk to Pillar.
Air walk right there. Keeping the ball down. Some close misses, but misses for sure.
Just wanted to see if they can pull off another 1-2-5 double play.
Yeah. At least they know they got it in their bag of tricks.
Here's Devin Travis. They really missed him last year because of injuries. He's back. Struggling a bit at the plate, though. And a pitch in the dirt. That one's going to be blocked. Only 3 for 27 for Travis. Much better hitter than that career-wise.
Absolutely, and unfortunately, he's been one of those players that has just been plagued with the injury bug his whole career. I mean, such a dynamic defender and offensive player, but the last 2 seasons just on the shelf with injuries.
1-0 delivery on the way. Takes a big cut on a pitch down and in. So Bundy working here. 1-1, 1 down.
A little 2-seam action from Dylan Bundy. We talk about the 4-seamer that rides up through the zone. This one kind of working down and in. Great late movement on the 2-seam fastball. Bundy trying to get it on the ground for a double play.
Travis 1 for 4 off Dylan Bundy. 1-1 delivery to him, and a same location result.
Yeah,
they seem to go after it.
Identical pitch. Beauty. A late movement, swinging right over the top of it. A couple reasons. Dylan wants to throw strikes, all right, so he's got strike 2, but if for some reason Travis does make contact, that's a ground ball to third base double play.
1 ball, 2 strike count on him. And a foul back. So Dylan Bundy's already up to 30 pitches thrown. Here's what we were talking about, the great double play.
Yeah, the miracle. The 1, 2, 5 double play. Beautiful. Take a look at Caleb Joseph. Come on, calling for the ball. Just slowing the game down. That's all that is. The great players have that incredible ability just to stop the clock.
1-2 delivery on the way. One of the interesting things, I mean, 1, they practiced it. Nobody believed that. 2, he never hesitated. Caleb didn't behind the plate making the throw. And 3, he had actually looked to see what kind of a lead D.D. Gregorius had at second base. And it wasn't a good one. Yeah. He wasn't getting that secondary lead. So you put all that together, and Caleb decided before the pitch, if it's to me at the plate, I'm going to third because I know I'm going to have a shot at him.
Yeah.
That's a lot of baseball thinking in a short period of time.
Well, it really is, you know, and it all stems back. You just think of how many things, scenarios possibly could go through a player's head when they start thinking about those situations, right? Well, if you're an offensive player and you get the bases loaded and it's a close ball game like that, the coaches say, keep it close. Don't get doubled off on a line drive.
Yeah.
So that keeps him a little bit closer to the base. Caleb understanding that.
3-2 delivery on the way, and he got him with an 83 off speed.
Boy, Dylan throwing some nasty pitches to Travis there. Couple sinkers down and in on him, and then drops the hammer. Look at the finish on that pitch. That nasty slider. It's going to hold its head the whole way and be a fastball in the outside corner, and just disappears on Travis for the second out of the inning.
So there are 2 down, and Diaz, the shortstop, will get the opportunity. 2 away. Chance to get out of the inning, and there's that great off-speed delivery going down and away to him, and he went after it. Diaz, of course, in the number 9 spot, has not faced Dylan before. That's to Dylan's advantage.
That is such a good pitch, man. It is all on the plate, and then just, I don't want to be a strike right now.
Takes that one, moved it back inside, but will miss a little bit down low, and a 1 ball, 1 strike count.
Good fastball there, man. He could literally pitch a ball game. We saw Dylan Bundy win games with just his fastball and changeup, but that fastball slider combination is pretty darn good too, especially when he works it on that outside corner of the righties.
1 ball, 1 strike delivery on the way, and went back outside with it, and again just at 83, and gets ahead of him 1 and 2.
Yeah, not his best slider. Goes a little too hard, stays up in the zone. That's still enough movement.
So the fans applauding for a strikeout to get out of the inning and leave the bases loaded. Solarte, Martin, and over at first base, Pilar. Bundy with a 1-2 delivery, and that ball is going to be into right field. Santander's there, and Bundy works his way out of it. So Toronto coming in with those big numbers with runners in scoring position. Nothing there, and no score. selected. 500 more for every Orioles home run hit tonight. Play Home Run Rich's scratch-offs, win up to $50,000, or enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Visit mdlottery.com/home run. So with Morales coming out, he was playing at first base. Solarte ran for him. He'll play third, though, and Donaldson will move over to first base. Those are the defensive changes for Jay Happ behind him. He will work here to Danny Valencia. Valencia in the DH role, 3 for 10. Lifetime off the left-hander. Pitch taken for a strike.
Well, Danny Valencia, big home run in both of his hits this season. Extra base hits. 440-foot blast up at Yankee Stadium. He's picked up a double, and he's done some damage against lefties in his career.
That pitch will be taken inside. Valencia, as we've mentioned, that's primary reason why the Orioles wanted him on the ball club. The career numbers he has had against left-handers, hits around that 312 to 318 mark seemingly every year against left-handed pitching. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery by Happ, and he went around on it. He wanted to hold up on that, tried to pull the bat back with his body, and everything went around.
Yeah, he's pretty good at locating that fastball. Martin called for it up and in, and he doesn't move his glove, hits his spot, and just ties Valencia all up.
So a 1-2 count from Happ. Over the top, shattered bat. Somebody's got to cover first. Donaldson, the throw, and a bad one. That's going to trickle off the facade of the seats. Josh Donaldson, no balance whatsoever on the throw. Would have had to be a perfect pass to Happ.
Yeah, well, asking a lot out of him moving over there all of a sudden. Now, this is a play that, you know, if he had a little bit more experience there, he'd just let it go, let the second baseman take it, then he'd go back and cover first. But look at how far over he ends up making that play, almost like a shortstop. But hey, you got to commend the effort there from Donaldson, but giving the Orioles an opportunity.
As they say, the ball will find you, and it did right away. Error charged. The Orioles leadoff man on again, as they did in the first. Tim Beckham coming up, a 4 for 12 off Happ lifetime. Happ goes to the outside corner and gets it there for a strike. Tim Beckham, a couple of doubles, home run, 3 RBIs so far, hitting at just 186. And the pitch down low, good stop made by Martin. The Orioles, coming in as a team, have broken the 200 mark. They did that with the hits they picked up in New York. As a team, they're hitting 210. Opponents are hitting 257 against them. On the other side, Toronto's hitting 233. Teams are actually against Toronto have a higher batting average of 245. Place to right field base hit. Steve Pearce up. Throw will come into second base. Sharp single by Beckham, and again, Orioles get a couple on to start the inning. Well, the Birds are going to host the Cleveland Indians April 20 through April 23. On Sunday, April 22, celebrate Earth Day at Oriole Park. Team takes the field in special Earth Day jerseys and caps. And the first 20,000 fans 15 and over get an Earth Day tote bag presented by MLB Network. Tickets at Orioles.com. Orioles got the first 2 on in the first inning. Get the first 2 on in the second. Trouble is, in the first inning, the next 3 struck out. See what happens here. Here is Santander. He'll take the pitch inside for a ball.
Oh, nice take right there. You know, Santander's starting to really settle in. He's playing great defense. But you always check him out offensively. Is he getting a little antsy? Is he getting ahead of himself? Well, that's a test right there. You got a runner in scoring position, nasty breaking ball, and he holds his ground.
Santander with that heat upstairs. That's where Happ's finding success. Santander getting number 1 in the long ball. Of course, yesterday he went 3 for 6. The extra inning ball game against the Yankees. He's already got his second career 3-hit game going. He gets an opportunity here for an RBI. That should be taken inside for a ball. Donaldson at first, worth mentioning, he has played first base in 4 games and 1 start. The last time he played first, 2013. Yikes. That's a long time ago.
Yeah, well, he could be exposed in some certain situations.
Swing up, and again can't connect to it.
Yeah, that high fastball from Happ, so tough to get on top of. Well, back to Donaldson. I mean, if this game stays tight, next thing you know, there might be bunt situations coming up. I mean, a lot of stuff could go through a new first baseman's head.
Yeah, he's played a total of 10 innings in his career at first base. 2-2 delivery on the way, foul back. Santander, numero uno. Here it is.
Oh, wow, what a swing by Santander. It was a 3-0 count, and he got the green light, and that was a go-ahead blast at the stadium. Beautiful swing from Santander to go along with his great defense in that series.
2-ball, 2-strike count on him. Regular right fielder now for the Orioles. 2 on here. Valencia's the lead runner. Beckham's on at first. Infield shifted around a bit. Pitch on the way up. We've already seen what happens to people who don't play first base very much. Every first baseman I've ever talked to, what's the most difficult thing about learning to play first? It's when to go right and when to go to the bag. Going after balls hit in the hole.
Absolutely.
You have to have a feel for that, and it only comes through playing there. And you saw Donaldson, like Mike said, he went after ball he should have let the second baseman handle.
Right, and it's just a natural reaction to want to catch everything.
Santander, high heat again, and another strikeout, 4 for Happ.
Oh, another good heater, 94 miles an hour, and it looks good. We talked about it. He's staying up there consistently. He saw a hole, and he exposed it on Santander. You see that four-seamer just riding up through there, trying to stay flat through the zone, but it doesn't take much. Just a little bat head drop.
That'll bring Caleb Joseph up. Runner still at first and second. And he will take Happ's delivery for a strike. Caleb with a home run off Happ in his career. 3 hits, 9 at bats. Caleb in a bit of a funk right now. He's not had a hit in his last 13 times to the plate. 0-1 count, 1 down. Get one here, get a run in. Little chopper hit him in the batter's box. Foul ball. And Happ gets ahead. 2 strikes.
Yeah, beginning of the season, talking about Caleb's slow start. It's got to be the toughest part of the year. The weather's cold. You don't have that good feel for you to bat, for anything. And, you know, you're coming out of spring training where it's warm and you're loose every day. And then all of a sudden you start grinding. You don't get a hit the first night. Somebody steals one from you. Caleb's already had a home run taken away. That stuff, you take that home and it doesn't bode well for consistency.
0-2. Wow, that pitch is just eating up the Orioles. 5 strikeouts.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to lay off it. Every Oriole hitter knows it's coming, but it looks so good, and it almost has that rise ball effect. And that's really the key to this pitch. It's taken off up in the top of the zone.
So Trey Mancini. Happ is trying to do just what he did in the first inning. First 2 Orioles got on, and he struck the side out. That pitch will be taken up high. Mancini not going after it. Trey with a base hit his first time up the other way. Trey is 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position this year. Valencia the lead at second. Beckham the lead at first. An error and a base hit putting them on. 1-0 delivery by Happ, came down and in. 1-1 of Mancini.
Well, he's not making a lot of mistakes with that fastball. He's painting the edges, the perimeter of the plate. Beckham got on him on the outer third. I think Beckham was targeting over there. Got to square him up a little bit. But you really can't have a plan other than the fact that he's going to throw a fastball. You just don't know where it's going to be.
1 ball, 1 strikeout. Mancini will take a strike of the knees this time. Trey hit .293 last year, and .293 and .293. Those were the numbers for Mancini against left-handers, right-handers, and overall.
Consistent player, Mancini is.
That's great average. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Happ's delivery on the fist that time and foul back, and in this cold weather, Mancini flexing that hand. That one stung a little bit. Little bees.
Oh yeah, you'd much rather have a fastball out over the plate. And Happ realizing the weather conditions, and he is getting it all over the knuckles. Relentless inside right now to Mancini.
1-2 remains the count. Not holding at second base. Way up and away. Not where he wanted that pitch to go at 94. It's stop made by Martin behind the plate.
Yeah, it sure was. It amazes me. It seems like we talk about it every night. Just kind of the unsung great plays, you know, by catchers. That's 94-mile-an-hour fastball. He's in a crouched position and catches it at about 6.5 feet over his head. So great play by Martin.
2-2. Happ's delivery on the way and got him on the outside corner, and Trey will slam the bat down a little bit. I think more angry at himself. He started to go after that pitch and thought it wasn't going to be there, and it just catches that outside corner. So 2 innings in a row. Happ Dale and Bundy back to work, and the pitch is taken for a strike. As we go to the top of the 3rd inning, no score in the ball game. 0-1 count. And a check swing by Granderson. Strikeout victim, Curtis Granderson, his first time up. 1 ball, 1 strike shift put on with a 1-1 count. Granderson on the off-speed delivery just watches that one go by, and it will catch the corner.
Yeah, nice breaking ball there from Bundy, doubling up on it. That's a beautiful get me over curveball.
Dillon working quickly. 1-2 delivery on the way. Check swing and a ball that bounces. Came off the plate that time. Donaldson and Smoke to follow.
Well, he got him on that breaking ball at first, AB. Granderson, the veteran hitter, put that one in his file and said, hey, I better remember he's trying to bounce that breaking ball with 2 strikes. And sure enough, here it comes, and he's able to lay off it.
I think Buck Showalter asking on that last one, was that a foul ball that it hit the bat? 2-2 delivery on the way, and Granderson will fight it again. Granderson has had 24 lifetime home runs against the Orioles, and 18 of the 24 have been hit here at Camden Yards. A lot of games, of course, with the Yankees when he was there playing against the Orioles. 2-2 delivery on the way. Check swing. Did he go? Jeff Kellogg says no. It was close.
Yeah, that's a great pitch by Bundy. Yeah, slider, the hard slider. Looks like a fastball on the inside corner. Granderson thought it was a fastball. He picked up that slider spin late, but able to hold up.
And that one will be up high. So Granderson is on. That will be a leadoff walk here in the 3rd inning. Well, this season, the kids cheer free at Oriole Park. Every adult will buy a regular priced individual game ticket. Upper Deck invited to bring up to 2 kids ages 9 and under to the ballpark. Compliments of the Orioles. All remaining home games are available now. So plan your summer at Orioles.com/kids free. Couple of walks surrendered. by Dillon so far. This one a leadoff walk. Leadoff man on. 2 out of 3 innings. Strike taken on the outside corner. Donaldson looking at the slider.
Well, he's not going to be able to do much with that pitch. Perfect pitch by Bundy to get into the count.
Morales, big bat, out of the lineup. Whatever the leg problem he had took him out of there. 0-1 delivery on the way. Started to go, did he? Yes, he did. Mike Hudson down at first base. Chased the pitch way outside that time. 0-2.
Wow. Donaldson, real good hitter. He's not picking up the breaking ball. You know, Dylan Bundy has such a smooth delivery, and I think the key to a lot of times you see these swings on the breaking balls, it's just that everything comes out of his hand the same way. You know, so hitters do a little bit of guessing at times, and sometimes they just see fastball. And Dylan exposing some hitters.
0-2 delivery, and he gets him. Did a number on Donaldson, and that's the 4th strikeout picked up by Bundy.
Yeah, what a great pitch. I mean, just setting them up. Caleb Joseph working perfectly right now, and Dylan Bundy executing. Setting Donaldson up. You don't see him look that bad too often. A fastball down and away, breaking ball, and then the nasty slider.
Pitchers piling up strikeouts. Happ's already got 6. Bundy has picked up 4. 1 away, runner on at first base. Shift on Smoke with the power. Strikeout victim himself, first time up. Orioles will be trying to cut that strikeout number down. They've been averaging almost 12 strikeouts a game. They've struck out more than any other American League team, and they are already up to 6 in this ball game. 1-0 count. Very short lead at first for Granderson, and fouled off the other way.
Big fastball there. Be careful. Smoke's become a very dangerous hitter. Came into his own last year. Throughout his career, always dangerous with the power, but found some consistency. Locked into his swing a little bit more. You make mistakes in his swing path, and he'll make you pay.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Pitch on the way. Not quite, apparently.
Wow.
Goes to 2-1. Now these offenses come in with. Take a look at this pitch.
All over the plate.
Yep. The Jays are 10th in average, but they're 3rd in runs. The Orioles are 12th in average, but 11th in runs. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Runner going nowhere. Breaking balls right in there, tied him up. The difference between these 2 teams right now in their record is that the Orioles have not been able to get key hits with runners in scoring position. Toronto has. John Gibbons Ball Club leading the American League. And that right now is why they're 6-4 and the Orioles are 4-6. Otherwise, the numbers are pretty comparable. 2-2 delivery on the way, and got him on the inside corner. Knew it. Walks away.
Oh, beautiful pitch right there by Dylan Bundy. I mean, executing everything right now. And here, a little cheese across the knees at 92. Starting to mix up his pitches, so hitters are guessing. And locked up right there.
That'll be 5 strikeouts for Dylan on this one. That got all of the plate.
It sure did. That was center cut.
He struck out 7 against Minnesota. Had 8 Ks against Houston. Already has 5 in this one. 2 down. Granderson still at first. Shift on. Slider away. Steve Pearce picked up a base hit his first time up. Pearce against his former team, the Orioles, carries a .278 batting average. And since he played for the Orioles, a lot of at bats in this ballpark, where his career number is .266. Throw over. Granderson, once upon a time, used to try and steal some bases. Not so much anymore.
And a lot of miles on those legs.
He's held very tight to the bag. 1-0 delivery on the way. Again, pitch away. And the count will go to 2-0 on him.
Well, Steve Pearce, you can tell on that last pitch, I mean, he's just trying to do one thing right now, hit the ball hard out of Camden Yards. That front hip kind of left real soon. So that's telling Caleb Joseph and Bundy that they can work that outer edge.
Stay out there. It will miss. And he falls behind him 3-0. Steve now 34 years old. Pierce has made a good run at it in the major leagues and not done yet. This is his 9th season Major League Baseball. 3-0 count. Granderson not running. He'll go after it high in the air to left field. That was the one he wanted, and he got it. And goodbye home run. Puts it to the back of the first section in left field. A 2 RBI homer. He got the count, a hitter's count, and took advantage of it.
Boy, he sure did. 3-0 green light. We saw one of those in yesterday's ball game. Go for the Orioles. This one against, and Pierce 3rd home run of the season. And this ball just kind of leaked back over the middle of the plate. It was up and out over. It wasn't worked on the outside corner where Dylan's been so good this ball game and all season long.
So Steve Pierce, the long ball with 2 down, and a 2-0 lead for Toronto. Dylan Bundy surrendering his first home run of the year.
Take a look at the pitch. Just elevated middle of the plate, trying to stay away that hole at bat. And Steve Pierce gets a good look. That was a big ball.
Pitch will be on the inside corner for a strike. Can't believe it. Velarde was moving away from the plate. What a start he has had with that .308 batting average. A lot of playing time. He's in for Morales. And the pitch taken inside for a ball. Take a look at our Coons.com league leaderboard. League leaders brought to you by Coons. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons.
Yeah, this is what these two teams do. They hit home runs and they score runs off the homer. The Orioles up over 50%.
Up high, went after it. And that will be the 6th strikeout picked up by Bundy. Pierce the home run, a 2-0 lead for the Jays. Sox 8-1 start, best in their history. They've not committed an error this season. They have never done that before. The Rays played freezing cold in Chicago, and they won 5-4. Archer went out there, gave him 5 2/3, 4 runs on 6 hits. You see the 8 Ks. Miguel Gonzalez, he went 4 1/3, 4 runs, 8 hits with a couple of walks. Miserable weather in Chicago. For the New York Times, hard to imagine a player of his stature having a poorer start with a new team than Giancarlo Stanton has had this first week as a Yankee. In his first 10 games in pinstripes, Stanton has batted .167. And we saw that in the series that we just left.
Yeah, a lot of swing and misses by Stanton.
Yep. Pitch is going to be taken inside for a ball. Manny Machado leading it off. Manny picked up a walk in his first at bat. Only walk surrendered by Happ. Both pitchers have 6 strikeouts so far. So this game is picking up where the series left off last year that we talked about, how it was a dominated series, the pitching series. The Orioles took the season series 12 games to 7. For the Blue Jays, they averaged just over 3 runs a game last year. Their second lowest against any opponent. That's how good the Oriole pitching was against the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah, a lot of tight ball games played between these two teams last season.
2-1 delivery on the way. Manny will put that down the line. It is curving and it is foul.
Well, not changing his pattern too much. Still pumping those fastballs in there. That one getting all over the hands of Manny Machado. A broken back. Go and get a new one.
Jay Happ, you can see a little rain is in the forecast, and it's misting, a freezing rain coming down. Told you there was a little bit of that during batting practice, but just very little. This is as hard as it's rained this afternoon. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Manny, Scope, and Jones due up. 2 delivery, and that one's going to be fouled back. The Orioles get 3 at home, short homestand. Andrew Kashner against Aaron Sanchez tomorrow. Kevin Gausman and Marco Estrada. All night games, all 7 o'clock start times. Then the Orioles will get a much needed day off before heading to Boston. He got that one left field, way back, rain or no rain. Goodbye, home run. Manny Machado, the long ball on a 2-2 count. And the Orioles pull within 1, 2-1.
What a beautiful swing by Manny Machado, and Happ just not giving it. Some pumping those heaters. Loves the fastball, but Manny ready for it there.
3 home runs and 6 RBIs for Manny Machado on the year. As Happ surrenders the long ball. And for Herbert Harwood, our Maryland lottery contestant, congratulations. That's worth $500. Got that one off in a hurry. So the Orioles answer with 1, and the pitch taken down low.
Well, let's take a look at Manny Machado. 2 strikes now, so he's shortening up a little bit, but pulls the hands in tight and stays behind this ball. And that ball is smashed. Another one well over 400 feet.
Foul back and a 1 ball 1 strike count. So Manny getting the 4th home run that Happ has surrendered already this year. Happ has pitched only 12 plus innings and given up 4 dingers. Major league pop up right there. Angle goes to the shortstop, but the third baseman wants to play it, and they almost have a running block from Diaz. Solarte called for it, took it, and Diaz came in throwing a body block on him.
Yeah, both players wanting that. Diaz going for the tackle. Solarte able to pull it down. Man, oh man, good communication, guys.
So they get the out. Solarte, of course, coming into play third for Donaldson, and Donaldson moved over to first after Morales came out. There is Donaldson, happy to have watched that one from his first base position. Adam Jones, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Did he go? Yep. Marvin Hudson making the call. Adam, of course, ton of games played against the Jays, 279 career average and 35 home runs. Adam Jones has hit against Toronto pitching. 0-1 delivery to him late on that one, couldn't time it. 0-2, and again Happ stays high on him.
Yeah, rare slider from Happ. Steady diet of fastballs throughout this ball game, and that little slider working in under the hands of Adam Jones to get ahead.
0-2 the count. Adam 9 irons that one. That's going to be a base hit. Pierce comes over to get it. So Adam Jones, a good piece of hitting on with a single.
You love that with the 2 strikes. You know, Jay Happ, we've seen this fastball and we've seen a lot of swing and misses, but when the guys are squaring it up, I mean, it's coming off hot. There's Happ's numbers there, 94, almost 95 miles an hour. His exit velocity on his fastballs. Manny Machado, 112 miles an hour off the bat on that home run. Tim Beckham, he line drive to right field. It came off at 108 miles an hour. So it's tough to get to his fastball, but when you do, boy, does it come off hot.
Chris Davis, a strikeout victim his first time up. Davis over the top on that one for a strike. Orioles now have picked up 4 hits, 3 by the Jays. But the Jays got the 2-run homer by Steve Pearce for the 2-1 lead. Chris Davis, double play depth infield shifted. It'll go into that. Travis, 1 relay. They get the double play. So Chris Davis out of there, and so are the Orioles. But Manny Machado delivers the home run to lead off the 3rd inning, his 3rd of the year, and the Blue Jays lead is now 2-1. True moment later in tonight's game. First of 3 between these two teams. Manny Machado getting the Orioles on the board with his 3rd home run of the year and a 2-1 lead for the Jays. They will have Martin, Pilar, and Travis coming up against Dylan Bundy, who has walked 2 and struck out 6. Martin will take the pitch, and it is in there for a strike. Martin led all catchers last year in walks. He picked up 47 free passes last season. That has been a trademark, along with some home runs he's hit, that he's been able to keep his on-base percentage decent over the years because he will take a free pass.
Yeah, he's always been a pretty good offensive player. Well, getting a little older, a lot of catching back there, so slowing down a little bit. But you know, they brought him over for some veteran leadership, and done a nice job.
John Gibbons will have to work the lineups this year as he plans to rest the likes of Donaldson, Morales, Martin, Smoke, trying to work them in and out of a lineup while still keeping that potent offense going. Great pitch by Bundy, strikeout number 7.
Yeah, he's trying to protect that outside corner for the fastball, and Dylan once again exposing him. 2 fastballs on that outer 3rd, and then playing the slider off the 2 heaters. Executed perfectly. How about Martin way out in front and off balance? That's what you want to do.
He has struck out 4 of the last 5 that he's faced. Career high is 12 strikeouts. Chopper. Bundy will get it, run it over, and make the little flip, and Pilar is retired. Well, may the force be with you as the Orioles are going to be hosting a Star Wars night here at the ballpark. It'll be on Friday, May 11 against the Tampa Bay Rays. You can reserve your ticket, including an Oday-Wan Kenobi bobblehead. Plus, after the game, enjoy the first fireworks of the year featuring the Star Wars themed music. Tickets at Orioles.com/Star Wars. 2 down, nobody on. Travis takes it away. Got 2 outs on 5 pitches against the first 2 batters. And Dylan kind of needed that as his pitch count climbed a little bit in the 2nd and 3rd innings. 1-0 delivery up high. Orioles, of course, another move made today as the Orioles brought up yet another pitcher. They sent Tanner Scott down, and Hunter is up. The Orioles have him available. He's the long relief man tonight. Ground ball, that's going to go to short. Manny Machado's got it. He'll make sure he gets a good grip on that baseball. Travis is retired. So Hunter Harvey may not be needed in long relief if Dylan can have short innings like that. And he's available for long relief. Is he here to stay for a period of time? Buck Showalter wouldn't answer that, but he did say this.
I mean, I know what he's done well in the past. You know, he's got a late life fastball, curveball that's the old-fashioned 6-12 with a power curveball and a changeup. He's got a feel for it. He holds runners, and he ain't scared. Now, we'll see if that plays up here. It did in other places. Do I wish he'd had more experience in AAA, AA, and whatever? You know, he didn't. You know, he had some outings in Twin Lakes. I mean, he's physically ready.
Yeah, he is physically ready. He was impressive in spring training. It looked like he just fit into the rotation so well. I mean, he's got a great build. He has incredible composure for a young man, and he's healthy. He's a real good pitcher. You know, great family bloodline. His father was a great closer with the Angels, and you know, his maturity is well beyond his years, and I think he fits in nicely right now. Out in the bullpen, his innings can be managed, and I think that's important for Buck Showalter to have a handle of that. He did it with Dylan Bundy a couple years ago, and look where Dylan Bundy is right now. So, you know, I think, to be honest with you, I think Buck is happy that Hunter Harvey is here, and he's able to help him along and really make sure he settles in at the major league level the right way.
Happ working here, lead off out of Valencia. That ball will be bounced. This is pro season number 5 for Hunter Harvey. He has not pitched above Delmarva last year with the Gulf Coast team, the Aberdeen team, and then Delmarva in his combined seasons. Did not pitch in 2015. Entered as the top prospect, but injuries kept him out of the year. That one's going to be fouled off. So we'll see. He's here. Know what he's here for tonight, and whether he's here for a longer period of time will be decided or announced later.
Right, and you know one thing, there aren't a lot of optionable pieces.
No.
So the guys that are getting called up and sent down, that might be their deal this year.
Yep.
You know, just because there isn't enough room to move.
Danny Valencia will take the pitch. That's pitch number 7 of this at bat. Stanley tries to get on, takes the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. He reached on an error first time up. Orioles have stranded 4. A couple in scoring position. 3 have been left on. Bases loaded, second inning for Toronto. And he got one up and drove it deep into right center, but it's going to stay in the yard. And it'll be hauled in by Granderson for the out. He just missed getting that one. 4th inning of Orioles baseball brought to you by the all-wheel drive RAV4. Toyota, what drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals. Gary Thorne and Mike Bordick, great to have you with us. This very cool evening started at 44 degrees. Young man's all ready to go. See, that's the way you do it. You have a young kid, you buy the cotton candy. Everybody thinks, oh, what a nice dad. He's buying it for the kid. Then you go sit down, you eat the whole thing.
Right.
Nice trick. Here is Beckham, a base hit his first time up. Orioles facing some left-handers early on, as is expected. Orioles have already gone 2-1 against left-handed starters on the year. As we said against Happ, they beat him 3 times last year, and the Orioles are 6-4 against Happ in his career. 0-1 delivery by the lefty, and that's going to be up high at 93.
Yeah, gets those eyes up tall with that fastball, and if you can lay off it, you might be able to get a pitch to hit throughout an AB. But so many hitters enticed by that high heat.
1-1 delivery on the way. Ground ball towards the first baseman, Donaldson. He will take it to the bag for the out. Beckham is retired. His first put out at first base in about 5 years. Our minor league report brought to you by PNC. No better time to act than today. PNC, make today the day.
Yeah, let's take a look at DJ Stewart. He was in spring training trying to open up some eyes for Buck Showalter. He had a monster year last year. 21 home runs, 20 stolen bases, and got the promotion to AAA. 1 for 4 with a 2-run walk-off home run in the 9th. Yeah, up to the same business he was up to last year in AA.
Santander going after the first pitch. 2 down, 0-1 count. Santander, a strikeout victim, his first time up. 0-1 delivery. And a swing and a miss as he went up the ladder on him. Santander's another young player. He's only 23 years old, from Venezuela. Last year with the Orioles, got in 13 games. Played at both Bowie and Frederick during the year. Came inside and got him. Was walking off the mound before the call was made. So Happ's got 7 strikeouts, both he and Bundy matching in the K department. With the salaries and teams that are underway now, they've been copulated, and number 1, the Red Sox, $234 million plus. The Giants are 2nd overall in the majors, 1st in the National League, obviously, at 208. The Yankees, usually up there, are 7th. They're trying to avoid any big luxury tax. These Blue Jays at 161 are ranked 9th. The Orioles are 14th out of the 30 teams, and the A's at $68 million. That's the least in salaried payroll. Down to Beckham, and he's got it. A rocket shot by Diaz on the first pitch seen, and Beckham, who had moved in a little bit, put the glove up and caught it.
Yeah, ready for the bunt down there. But you better be ready for some heat. Yeah, that's a reason why they call it the hot corner, and Beckham was prepared for that bullet. 108 miles an hour off the bat. And Bobby Dickerson happy for that first out.
Infield coach moving him around, and Manny had something to say to Beckham as he went by.
All right, why didn't you charge that ball?
Yeah. Couldn't you have caught that quicker? And so Beckham moves over the second base side, shaking his hand, his glove hand. That one stung. And no wonder. Curtis Granderson, a walk, a strikeout. He has scored a run. A 2-1 lead for Toronto. Granderson, 20 career home runs, 61 RBIs against the Orioles. Leads all current Jays in those departments against the O's. Pitch to it. Taken on the inside corner. Dylan Bundy has worked him well inside, keeping him tied up. Donaldson on deck.
Dylan's making some real good pitches with his fastball right now, working in and out.
Ground ball off the end of the bat. Beckham will moved over there, will play it. 5-3 from the second base side of the bag. Say, let's chat. Get game alerts on a higher level on Facebook Messenger. Sign up to receive in-game highlights, exclusive giveaways, new all-access segments, and more. Sign up at facebook.com/Massonorioles and send us a message today. Join us now on Facebook Messenger. Thank you. Didn't even get her face in it, just got the food. 2 down. And goes after the first pitch. Donaldson is struck out and he has grounded out. Another one of those innings where Bundy got the first 2 outs on 5 pitches. That's twice in this game he has done that in different innings. He had a pitch count climbing a little bit through 3, but he has lessened that. Pitch outside.
Well, he's making so many quality pitches. He's really doing just what he wants to do. Commanding the 4-seam fastball. Off that 4-seamer, depending on it's a lefty or righty, he's playing a 2-seam fastball or the slider. I mean, it's fun to watch him work.
That's where he has had Donaldson in all 3 at bats. That pitch away, Josh Donaldson continues to go after and can't reach it.
Yeah, and you try to analyze, you see the pitches coming in there, and how come hitters can't pick up some of these pitches? Well, Bundy is so smooth coming down the mound, and then it just explodes out of his hand. And talk about some of the best pitchers in the game. Pedro Martinez obviously comes to mind, but when he released a ball, you didn't know what it was. Was it going to be a fastball, a curveball, changeup? And he had devastating pitches. Bundy, very similar in that regard. It seems like every hitter is caught in between, not really knowing what's coming. Everything looking like the same pitch out of his hand.
1-2 delivery on the way, and that'll be outside, trying to get Donaldson to go after that again, and he wouldn't do it. 2-2.
Oh, here's this unique delivery. He's got a nice leg kick, strong legs, but that slow glide down the hill. And here comes the arm over the top, catching up, and he's been right on time. Perfect delivery.
2-2 delivered, nobody on here. Foul back. 4th career start and his 8th appearance against the Blue Jays, so that great 3-0 record that he has. Dylan comes in having won 23 and lost 15, his career numbers. If he'd gotten a couple of runs in the first 2 starts this year, he could easily have added on a couple of wins. Certainly pitched well enough to get him. And then he eats him up inside. So he's got 8 strikeouts. He retires the side in order. He has thrown only 20 pitches the last 2 innings. Our M&T Bank do-ups. Joseph.
Jays and Bundy getting a comebacker. Blue Jays threatening, but what a heady play. Man, are the Orioles on top of their ball game. Mancini, though, a little frustrated. Tough call and some tough luck to start the season. Steve Pearce getting on a Bundy heater, a big fly, but Manny Machado answering right back. A solo shot. 437. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save.
Two pitchers working in a hurry and getting outs. Caleb Joseph against Happ. He will miss outside. Caleb at strikeout victim his first time up. Happ 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. Home run by Manny Machado. The Orioles RBI, one of 4 hits the Orioles have. That one launched to the gap, left center field. That is going to fall in. Granderson was very deep, so he cuts it off and will hold Caleb to a single. That'll get Caleb out of the funk here, leading off the 5th inning.
Yeah, nice swing by Caleb Joseph. Take a look. Staying on this pitch, down in the zone, and look at the head position, using the legs to go down and get himself some. Yeah, Granderson playing deep, so Caleb took a hard turn around first. Looking to get on second base, but a nice swing there.
Well, the Orioles get the leadoff man on, the potential tying run in the ball game, and Trey Mancini, who has struck out and singled. Mancini will take the pitch, and it'll be up high. That's the one to lay off right there, and Mancini did on that delivery. Infield double play depth, swung around a little bit, playing him to pull. Happ. 1-0 pitch. That'll be up high as well. Jay Happ, pitch wise, 96 in the first game, 93 in the second start that he had this year. Has a 1-1 mark. 2-0 delivery on the way. Trey getting one to drive, fouls that one back. 2-1.
A nice healthy cut right there by Trey Mancini. Nice patience laying off the 2 high heaters. Get into a favorable count, and Happ, who loves the heater, here it comes. But look at the location, but Mancini was on that. Fastball on the black, a healthy cut.
Here's the 2-1 delivery to him, and that's going to be up high. So one of the few times where Happ has fallen behind a 3-1 count. And Mancini will look to drive here and keep an eye on these starters. First 2-3 starts of the year. So how they're going. Pete Walker, their pitching coach. 3-1 delivery. Comes right back at him. Foul back, 3-2. Trey with a couple of hits, 9 at bats now off Happ.
So Mancini knowing that heater's coming and still can't get the barrel on it. Just a little bit of an adjustment, maybe a little bit shorter. Trying to do too much. Caleb just laid the bat on the ball. Mancini should do that here.
Here's the 3-2 runner not going. And Trey will foul that one right straight back.
Pretty good fastball there. 93 in on the hands after working away. He set those eyes on that outer third, and the veteran pitchers, they know how to work it. So that cheese coming in hot, but Mancini did a nice job to keep this AB going.
3-2. Runner stays, and he draws the walk. So only the second walk issued, and for the 3rd time in 5 innings, the Orioles have the first 2 up in an inning on base. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by American Standard. Find your local independent American Standard heating and air dealer at midatlanticcomfort.com. They will use a conference time here as Martin goes out to have a word with Happ. Nobody out and 2 on. Manny Machado, the home run came in the 3rd. He has also drawn a walk in the ball game. Orioles with a single chance with the runner in scoring position. 0 for 1 for the moment. Happ's delivery on the way, and that'll be taken inside for a ball. So Manny with 3 lifetime home runs now off the left-hander. Happ average a little over the 240 mark. 1-0 delivery. That is in there for a strike. Happ gave up 18 home runs last year, 15 of those to right-handers. As you mentioned, the lefties have very little success against Jay Happ. 1-1 in the air to right. Pierce. Runners halfway, and they will go back. 1 down in the inning.
Well, Happ making a good pitch there. The hard slider working in on the hands of Manny Machado. Manny was looking to shoot a fastball to right field. And there you go. Once again, Happ, the veteran pitcher, kind of understanding what hitters are looking for. And the rare slider working in on Machado to get the easy first out.
So Manny out of there, and Jonathan Scope will give it a whirl. Jonathan has struck out and popped out. Down to 208 his average. Hit over 300 here at Camden Yards last year. 303 at home, 283 on the road. First and second. And Happ taking a moment here as he steps off.
Really taking his time out there.
Yep. Pitch on the way, and he'll hit him. The bases are loaded. Just caught the jersey on the way by.
Now there are times hitters are going to stay in there and take one for the team. This cold weather, Jonathan wanted to get out of the way, and fortunately for the Orioles, though, caught a piece of the jersey. Load the bases for Adam Jones. Take a look. Fastball trying to run hard inside. And just nipping that jersey.
Happ did not hit a batter last year in the 23 starts he had. He does here. Bases loaded. Adam Jones a base hit, and he is struck out. So the Orioles get the sacks full, and a big opportunity off Jay Happ. Down a run. Adam will take the pitch. It'll be down low for a ball.
Well, Adam's done just about everything you could ask of him this year. Pretty impressive numbers with the bases loaded in his career. Does have the one grand slam, but this season, if he falls behind, he's using the whole field. He's shot so many base hits to right. I think right man here in this spot.
And he's going to have a hitter's count. Happ misses on it, and the count goes to 2-0. So Happ, first real danger for a big inning that the Orioles have had. 2-0 count, 1 down. Runners on every base, and the 2-0 delivery on the way. Adam chops it back to the mound. Here we go again. He buried it. They get one, and that's going to hit the runner. Run will score. Donaldson's got to chase it down. And hang on. He was out of the baseline. They've called him out. It's a double play. And Buck Showalter's got to be furious about this. The home plate umpire, Chris Siegel, made the call, saying he had run outside the lane.
Yeah, take a look here. Adam a little over aggressive on a 2-0 fastball. Nice play by Russell Martin. He is in the line, that's for sure. But you think getting so close to first base that they might not make that call. Adam was way down there. Martin had to take a little more time. And there you see, catch him in the back.
What a play by Martin. He had to scoop it.
Yeah, it really was an incredible play. Keep it from going to the backstop.
So he's called for running outside that lane, and he was by a step. So it'll end up being a double play, and what a big play that is. Now you see why Caleb Joseph threw to third.
Right? Because Judge was running down to first base.
Exactly. You never would have got it down to first if Adam Judge is between you and the first baseman that you're trying to run it to. There's not going to be any review of this on the call made. That's a call that's not reviewable. So the inning is over, and the Orioles lose a big chance on that call. Remains 2-1 Jays. Dylan Bundy's first pitch will be in there for a strike. A very unusual double play. Put out goes to the catcher on Jones on the running out of the baseline call, and gets the Jays out of the inning. That ball ripped, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. So going against the shift that time, found the only hole that there is out there, and Smoke is on with a leadoff single.
Yeah, not much room between Jonathan Schoop and Santander out there in right field. Schoop getting on a two-seamer. Long arms reaching out and taking it away from that outer third. And there you see it dropping in front of Santander.
Well, these two pitchers matching pitch for pitch. Bundy coming into the inning 13 out of 20 first pitch strikes. Happ 13 out of 21 first pitch strikes. 7 strikeouts for Happ, 8 for Bundy. Pitch taken on the outside corner for a strike. Pierce, big night already. He's had a base hit, a home run, his 3rd of the year. Good for 2 RBIs coming in the 3rd inning, which has given the Jays the 2-1 lead. Now he's got Smoke on at first and a swing and a miss. Mike and I were talking about that call. If you watch runners going to first base out of the batter's box, whether there's anybody on or not, nobody runs inside that lane, right?
No, absolutely not. I mean, they're running directly to the base. The base is inside, on the inside part of the field, and the lane is on the outside part of the base.
Yep.
It's bizarre.
Pitch, did he go? No. Now Adam going down the line is really running about where everybody runs to go to first base. And no, he's not in the lane, which by the rules is where you're supposed to be.
All right.
But that's a normal course going to first base.
Yeah, it sure is.
But umpire's right. I mean, that's the rule. 1-2. Short lead at first base. Mike and I decided what you got to do is the chalk line that's on the outside in foul territory should be flipped. You should move it on the inside onto the grass.
Either that or move the base to the outside, right?
Then you'd have the real lane that the runners run in.
Yeah.
2-ball, 2-strike count from Bundy. Pitch on the way will be fouled off.
A good pitch there by Dylan Bundy. Two-seam fastball. Starting on the black on the inside corner. Works off just inside. Maybe an inch or two inside corner, and you better get it in there on Pierce. He is lightning fast inside. He can jerk you out of the yard. We saw him do it in his last at bat.
2-ball, 2-strike count on Pierce. Smoke trying to edge off, get a little secondary lead, but not very much. 2-2 delivery on the way, and Pierce will ground that one down to third base. Beckham's got it. There's Schoop, relay to Davis. There's 2.
Nice little double play right there. How about Beckham getting the feed, and when he catches the ball, his back foot is setting up a nice little rhythm on this double play. Orioles been working on it. They had a hard time turning double plays in New York. Good feed to Jonathan Schoop, and he cleans it up. Not a lot of speed on the base pass, so they can take their time a little bit. What a big double play there for Bundy.
And that will bring Solarte to the plate. Solarte playing at third base. Kendrys Morales started the game playing at first. Had to come out. We understand it is a left hamstring strain, grade 1. That's why Morales came out of the game after getting on base. Solarte came in to run for him. Solarte moved to third, and Donaldson moved to first. Popped up. Manny Machado will drift back and gets there in time to put it away. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Nobody left on. Only 3 batters faced. 2-1 Jays. by the official baseball historian, John Thorne. He wrote of a book that he had forgotten he had even read a long time ago. It's a book about baseball called The History of Baseball. Of particular interest is the absence of a baseball creation myth and the parallel absence of a creator. Neither Abner Doubleday nor Alexander Cartwright gets a nod in the book, and baseball's derivation from rounders is unashamedly acknowledged. This book was written in 1888. The History of Baseball. There it is. Very limited, hard to find, but if you're a baseball historian, there's a book you might want to look for at your corner store, where you have bookstores that still survive. Cost only 25 cents.
Well, you're not going to get it for 25 cents.
No, you're not going to get it for 25 cents. In the online, you can go to Our Game, John Thorne's website, and he has a whole story about that book that he went back and read again. One of the he had forgotten all about, the early history of the game of baseball.
Yeah. Now, rounders, didn't that come from England?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's been said for a long time, most historians say baseball came from rounders, and that neither Cartwright nor Doubleday had anything to do with the creation of baseball, but the myth developed and has followed along. But that book, written so far back, baseball had only been around about 30 years. Swung on and missed. I'm going to try and find that. That'll be a nice search job in some nice old bookstore. See if you can dig one up somewhere.
Yep.
John Thorne went back and found his copy to write that article. Swing and a miss. Davis going after a pitch outside. Davis breaks his bat on the way back. He has struck out, hit it twice, and hit into a double play.
He didn't like that bat. That was a pretty nasty pitch by Happ. Davis, early struggles here to this season, and just not picking the ball up. Here you see the power of the crusher. Get that energy into the backside of a baseball.
And a strike taken. So 8 strikeouts for each pitcher. Valencia's reached on an error, and he is flied out. Pitcher dominated game by Happ and Bundy. That'll be hit towards first. Donaldson, who's ranging wide over there, goes to get it. Makes the flip to Happ, applauds himself and Happ, because he hadn't done that for 5 years. Sign up the Junior Orioles in your home for the 2018 Dugout Club. Memberships are just $25 and include your choice of 2 6-game ticket packages, a backpack, cap, and more. Plus, all guests get a seat for as low as $6 per person. Join today at Orioles.com/Dugout Club. Aw. Bundled up tightly, a little hot chocolate. Oh, don't give no lip. No lip. 2 down, nobody on, and a strike taken.
She's probably saying, well, I asked for ice cream, not hot chocolate.
That's right. She is a very smart little girl. 0-1 count, 2 down. Real good ball game underway here. Nice to see Donaldson having a sense of humor about enjoying himself, the situation.
Oh,
I mean, he's playing.
Yeah.
He's playing hard. He doesn't want to make mistakes, but he knows over there, what am I doing here? Why does the field look so different? Staring in from this angle. 1-1 delivery, and the pitch will be taken on the inside corner. The irony is they had talked a little bit in the spring and last week about Donaldson having to play somewhere else other than third because of the dead arm problem.
Yeah.
But they kind of said, nah, he hasn't played there since 2012. And then here comes tonight, and Morales goes out, and there he is. 1-2 delivery on the way, and that one's just going to miss inside. 2 down, nobody on. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Beckham's delivered a single. He is 1 for 2 in the ball game. Pierce has delivered the home run, 2-run shot, 3rd inning, and that has stood up to the Machado solo shot in the 3rd. 3-ball, 2-strike count.
Keep talking about this pitching duel, and it's a lot of fun actually to watch some quality pitchers go about their business, painting the edges with their fastball. And we talk time and time again, it just seems like a lost art, the ability to command your fastball. When you find pitchers that can do that, then play their secondary stuff off it, like Happ and Bundy are doing tonight, it's just a lot of fun to watch. And you can tell hitters are having a hard time with this. They're waiting for something in the middle of the plate, and both pitchers, they're not giving it to them.
Beckham will get a walk. So the Orioles with 2 down. Beckham gets the walk, the third surrendered. And speaking of walks, for every Orioles walk, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50 supporting the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society Light the Night Walk. O's have drawn 39 walks for a total of $1,950. Pitch swung on up high. Care First encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Here is Santander. Santander has struck out twice. Strikeout victim number 4 and 7 of the 8 that have been noted by Happ. Danny Barnes in the bullpen. That has been a little bit of a concern early on. Their bullpen not as strong as they had hoped it might be early. 0-2, quick count, Happ. And there's that heat upstairs again. Wow. So that is the first 3 strikeout game Santander's ever had. This game will humble you. He gets his first home run yesterday and his first 3 strikeouts the next day. PNC make today the day. Cool night here at Camden Yards with a hot baseball game. 2-4-1 for the Jays, 1-5-0 for the Orioles. Manny Machado getting his 3rd home run leading off the 3rd inning, bringing the Orioles to within 1. But it has been all about Happ and Bundy getting the job done in this game. 9 strikeouts now for Happ. Bundy's 8, equaling his high that he had this year. Of course, this is only his 3rd start, and as we said, 12 is his career high. And first ball swinging, that'll be fouled away as Russell Martin leads it off, hit into a fielder's choice, and he is struck out. Pala, Travis due up.
And Dylan Bundy kind of emerging as the team's ace last year. 19 quality starts. Pitched opening day. Really big year for Bundy.
Lay off the fastball up high. Russell Martin does. Martin 5 home runs against the Orioles in his career, and 4 of the 5 coming here at Camden Yards. Shift on against him. Breaking ball fooled him. Tied him up.
Man, what a pitch. Starting up around eye level. Mix in some high fastballs off that pitch, but how about it just dropping down into the zone? Martin didn't think it had any chance of getting into the zone.
He will take that one and evens the count up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Close but not quite there pitch. Leadoff batter with a 2-2. Martin goes after it. Reach to protect and fouls that one back. Supposed to be a good deal warmer tomorrow. We hope those of you who may have stayed away because of the cold will get out here and see the Orioles next 2. Cashner against Sanchez tomorrow night. And a swing and a miss. He could not stay away from that one. Strikeout number 9.
Bundy is just on that breaking ball. And Martin just having a hard time picking it up. Every swing he takes at it, he's off balance. This time, both feet kind of moving all over the place in the box. Just breaking the rhythm and timing. That's all Bundy's doing tonight.
Villar's drawn a walk, and he has grounded out. One down with the bases empty. Some question, middle part of the game, how long Bundy might be able to go. He threw 60 pitches in the first 3 innings. But he threw only 30 pitches in innings 4, 5, and 6. 0-1 delivery on the way. Ripped to third. Busy night down there. And Beckham's got the second hot shot to the corner.
He's ready for it. He's wearing out the palm of that hand. That last line drive he caught, he took the glove off, shaking it off. That one 104 miles an hour off the bat. Infield coach Bobby Dickerson acknowledging it. Way to be ready for it. That's a good play. I mean, harder it's hit, lower you get. Let's take a look. Beckham taking the eyes to the baseball and coming up with a big second out.
2 down, nobody on. Devin Travis. Beckham may want one of those big porterhouse steaks to go in.
Padding in there. Yeah.
A big steak in there to protect the palm of your hand. 1 strike count with 2 down. Swing and a miss. No matter how much they have seen it and how they know it's coming, they cannot lay off that pitch.
Yeah, it is nasty. I mean, it's got late movement. Looks like his fastball out of his hand. These guys are falling over themselves trying to hit it.
0-2 delivery, foul tipped, held on to 10 strikeouts, 2 more. 7th inning stretch time. Heck of a ball game. 2-1 Jays.
Oh, Happ out of the ball game, 6 strong innings, scattering the 5 hits. Won the solo shot for Machado. Put 1 run on the board, but pretty dominant performance. 9 punch outs, just 3 walks, 104 pitches for Happ. And now it's time for the Jiffy Lube pitching change. Jiffy Lube stores now do brake services. Stop in and let Jiffy Lube perform a free brake inspection today. Well, Blue Jays, yeah, going to the pen. Danny Barnes here, 5 games this season already with a 208 earned run average. Got some good stuff. Boy, as he started to move up the charts as a high leverage pitcher for John Gibbons. Good fastball, a good slider combination. But his key and something that separates him is his fly ball percentage. He can get some fly balls, and he gets high fly balls as well.
So Barnes goes to work with a 2-1 lead, bottom of the 7th inning. Caleb Joseph will take the pitch away. Caleb with a base hit his last time up, 1 for 2. Mancini and then Machado. will be due up against Barnes. Barnes appeared a couple of days ago against Texas in his last outing. Went an inning and a third, 2 strikeouts, 2 hits. Michael Givens is up for the Orioles. Two ball, 1 strike count from Barnes. And that one was up. It ended up being foul tipped into the mitt. Barnes will get ahead, 2-2.
Now Barnes likes to use that fastball at the top of the zone as well. Not really overpowering though. Low 90s with the heater. Another guy looks enticing up there.
Barnes comes in and he'll start it with a strikeout. It is a K night here at the ballpark.
Yeah, how many high fastballs have we seen from Blue Jays pitchers? Happ was living up at the top of the zone, and here comes Barnes. Back-to-back high heaters, 93 miles an hour on that one. Caleb can't get on top.
Trey Mancini, top of the order. He has faced Barnes only once, and he is 0 for 1 against him. Base hit his first time up. He has struck out and walked since. 1 down here in the bottom of the 7th inning, and that will be a little bit low for a ball. For Barnes against the Orioles, he has an 0-2 record. He's 0 for 1 in save chances. He's only worked against the Orioles 4 1/3 innings in 5 games. Foul back. Giving up 3 runs, 8 hits. The Orioles hit 421 off him. Obviously very limited at bats because he hasn't been out against the Orioles very much.
Well, being the extreme fly ball pitcher, you take your chances here at Camden Yards. So, you know, the hope, obviously, somebody get on one of those high fastballs.
1-1 delivery on the way. One is going to miss. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Trey Mancini. Orioles have left 6 on base, 3 in scoring position. Toronto hasn't left anybody on since the 2nd inning, when they had the bases loaded and left it that way. Up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. And that's where Mancini is going. He is picking up a number of hits here early on this year, right up the middle. And you like that. So that'll bring up Manny Machado for drive of the game.
Yeah, big ball solo shot. Getting on the Happ fastball. Trying to sneak it on that inside corner, but Manny stayed short, pulling those hands in tight to the belt. Another big fly by Machado. He's heating up for sure.
Hurry to your local Ford dealers. Great savings on cars, trucks, and SUVs. So the Orioles get their 6th hit to 4 on the board for the Jays. Manny Machado 0 for 2 off Barnes. The Manny chant. Pitch swung on and missed. We'll just record and rack. There's another high fastball.
Exactly. I mean, they look so good. And the Oriole hitters are telling you, it looks so good. You got to stay on top of that. Keep a flat bat through the zone.
Down to third. That's going to be a base hit into left field. Mancini will stop at second base. Granderson will get it back in. And another multi-hit game. 4 multi-hit games in the last 6 now for Manny.
A hard hit ground ball, finding that 5-6 hole just out of the diving effort of Solarte.
So the Orioles come again with an opportunity. 1st and 2nd, 1 out. Jonathan Schoop hit by a pitch. He has popped out and struck out. Orioles 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position tonight.
You know, we talk time and time again about just giving themselves opportunities. Well, they've had a lot of opportunities the last few games. Time to start capitalizing.
That'll be back over the screen. Jonathan Schoop. He's had a 2 for 6 against Barnes. Pretty good success. Jonathan has had a home run, and that's the only RBI he has picked up this season. Runners off 1st and 2nd base. Jonathan fouls that one off. And Barnes will go up 0-2. Axford in the bullpen. It is a bullpen game now for the Jays. Happ still the pitcher of record on the winning side, but only that 1-run margin. 0-2 count. Runners off first and second. Pitch will be taken up high.
Oh, nice job laying off there. 2 strikes, crucial time in the game. You got to shorten up just a little bit. Find some outfield grass and give Bundy a chance to get a win. He's been pitching way too good to start this season.
1 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way. Cued right over by the Orioles on deck circle. And it will stay at a ball and 2 strikes. Dylan Bundy hoping for a little offensive support. With the 10 strikeouts, 2 walks, only 4 hits off him. With the big blast, Pierce in the 3rd. Michael Givens is ready to go. Looks like Bundy is out of there. Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way, and that one in the air, left center field. It's hit deep, and it will be tracked down. Pilar went back to get it, and no tag, and moving up with a deep fly ball as Mancini had gone halfway. Good play by Pilar in center. Well, plan your summer at Oriole Park with a Birdland ticket membership. Birdland ticket members always pay the lowest available price, a savings of up to 15% when compared to single game tickets. Plus, members receive exclusive orange carpet benefits. Visit Orioles.com to find the membership plan that's right for you. 2 down. Adam Jones. Jones 0 for 3 off Barnes. Runners remain at first and second base. Set up way outside. That's where the pitch is, and he went after it.
I just want to give Adam Jones a few props about letting the ball travel a little bit. Last 2 at bats, just a little over anxious, wanting to get it done at front of his hometown fans. Let it come to you, Adam. You'll be all right.
0-1 count. Barnes delivers to him. He got it in there, shattered the bat, goes to left, long run, and Granderson is over there to get it. And that will do it. Orioles with a couple of hits. They leave 2 on, 2-1 Jays.
Blue Jays, could he do it again today? Well, he did. I mean, impressive stuff. Nasty breaking ball there to get Granderson. He had it all working. Smoke going down on a changeup. How about a hard slider, Donaldson? I mean, Bundy's had it all working all season long. He's so impressive with his fastball location, and he is just frustrating hitters right now. I mean, everybody in between swinging over the slider. A lot of fun watching Dylan Bundy pitch. Always got to get him a win, though, sometime. How about 7 strong innings, just 4 hits scattered, a 2-run shot to get the runs on the board, but 10 punch outs for Bundy, 101 pitches thrown. Pretty impressive night for Dylan.
So we go to the 8th inning with the Jays up And Michael Givens comes on to do the pitching, and Diaz will take it for a strike.
Take a look at Givens' numbers on the year. 5 games, earned run average elevated a little bit, but he's settling in, and as each day passes by, a power pitcher for sure, coming from the side. Very tough to pick up the baseball, and he's throwing strikes. He's tough.
That'll be in there for a strike for Givens. Last year he appeared in 7 games against the Jays and won 2. Gave up 4 runs, 6 hits, 9 2/3. Has a career 4-0 record against the Toronto Blue Jays. That ball to the hole and a base hit. So again, going where it was pitched. He's got a leadoff single, Diaz.
Yeah, makes it a little bit easier when it's elevated. But Michael Givens, man, did he get on a roll in New York? 2 innings pitched, no hits, no runs, had 3 punch outs, and he made an unbelievable game-saving play. We're going to take a look at it. How about the high cheese to get Stanton there? Here's a slider getting away. This is the game. Oh, no, it's not. The Willie Mays Hayes slide and the tag on Didi Gregorius. What a play by Michael Givens. The O's, of course, go on to win that ball game. And Givens a couple shutout innings.
Perfect block of the plate. That's about as good as it could be done. He will throw over with Diaz going back to the bag. Leadoff man on here in the 8th inning. Curtis Granderson, who can handle the bat. With a shift on against him, Manny Machado will stay on the left side and just off the cut of the grass. See if he bunts. Pitch will be taken down low for a ball. So trying to add to the 1-run lead. John Givens, the decision here. How are you going to play this? He has some good speed at first base. Held by Davis. 1-0 delivery. Granderson not showing bunt will take the pitch away, and the count goes to 2-0.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the small ball is going to be played. I mean, tack on runs so crucial, but I think Givens thinking, we got power here. We could pop one pitch, and they could really bust this game open.
Granderson with a 2-0. He'll go after it, hits it hard. It'll be a base hit into right field. Going to make a turn and try for third. No. As the arm respected, Santander gets it in. Also, Diaz had to hold up, make sure that ball didn't hit him going by at first base.
Yeah, Granderson hit a bullet down there, and Diaz had to freeze. Take a look here, getting the secondary. Whoa, had to jump back. That slows him down and prevents him from going on into third base. Pretty smart play holding up there.
So the Jays get a chance against Michael Givens. 2 on, nobody out. Donaldson up. Toronto hasn't had a hit with a runner in scoring position. They are 0 for 3. Donaldson has struck out twice and he's grounded out. Givens pitched to him the slider that will be outside for a ball. Donaldson has a 1 for 7 lifetime against Michael Givens. One 0 pitch on the way to him. Givens has been watching. He saw what Bundy was doing with those pitches away. Donaldson not biting on either of those two.
Yeah, absolutely, and maybe just sees it a little bit differently. Not picking it up off Bundy, that's for sure. But Michael Givens, he got a couple good pitches out there, and Donaldson just spitting on him.
2-0 delivery, stayed out there, and will miss with it. So Donaldson ahead on the count 3-0. We have seen over the weekend 3-0 counts mean swing away.
Right. Yeah, there's some money in there swinging at 3-0 pitches.
Runners off first and second base, and not even close. So Givens surrenders a walk, and they have loaded the bases here in the 8th inning with nobody out. 2 singles and a walk. Only 3 walks picked up by the Jays in the game. The infield will move in, or started to. Now Bobby Dickerson's going to back him up a little bit. You got the power hitter Justin Smoke. He has struck out twice and he has delivered a single. Sacks are full. Orioles at double play depth now with Beckham in a little bit closer at third base. Smoke 1 for 4 off Givens. So big moment late in this game.
I think Buck thinking not wanting to take the chance of the Blue Jays breaking it open, rather trade the 2 outs, potential double play up the middle. Maybe give up 1 run.
That pitch way inside. That will send Joseph to the mound and bring out Roger McDowell and bring in Tim Beckham for a conference here, trying to settle Givens down a little bit off in the last 5 pitches.
Yeah, you know, locking in to your delivery in the early part of the season. If things falter, you know, you make an adjustment, but then you have to work on that. Well, in New York, Michael made an adjustment, and Buck Showalter kind of alluded to it. The Givens had been getting a little bit rotational, going side to side, everything kind of moving towards the first base, you know, side, instead of all that energy being geared towards home plate. So up in New York, man, you could see the energy just coming. He was hopping towards home. Everything was being directed to the catcher's mitt. Maybe Roger seeing a little of that rotation stuff again, so trying to make the adjustment here.
1-0 delivery on the way. Smoke will take it for a strike. Smoke has been one of their leaders in this department of getting people in with runners in scoring position. Coming into the game, 3 for 4 with a home run. He's got 3 out there with nobody out, and Pierce waiting on deck. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Givens will wait as Smoke backed out for a moment.
Get Smoke's numbers there. Runners in scoring position, 750. My goodness. He ain't missing, is he?
That's part of that 348 number.
Yeah.
Toronto has as a team coming in, leading the American League in average with runners in scoring position. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Key moment with the Jays up by just a run here in the 8th. 1-1 delivery. Smoke takes. It's inside. 95 on that one, and 2 ball, 1 strike count.
Got the good velocity. Just need the command.
Givens, a look around, and the 2-1. Smoke goes after it and pops it up. The runner will tag. Mancini, though, is very close. Mancini catches it. Runner's going to come. Throw to the plate in time, and they got him! Great throw by Trey Mancini, and the Orioles continue to cut down runners on base. Started yesterday, it's continued today.
Yeah, pretty nice to see, isn't it? Different ways to get double plays and kind of squelch a rally, potential rally. Beautiful throw by Mancini. Yeah, testing his arm out there, and he throws a strike to Caleb Joseph. Caleb in a good position to put that tag down, and it's just a matter whether or not Caleb holds on to the ball. Umpire takes a quick look, and boom, he is gunned down at the plate. Beautiful throw by Mancini.
Great defensive plays played perfectly by Mancini and Caleb Joseph. Now 2 down, runners at first and second. Pitch will be taken way inside. Pierce, the home run, 3rd inning, his 3rd of the year, that put Toronto up on top, and that's the way it stayed. Toronto, from the 3rd inning through the 7th, only 1 other hit put up on the board as Bundy shut him down. They've come back in this inning to get a couple of hits. Pierce puts one in the air to right center field. Going back, Adam Jones. He's looking. He'll give way. Santander will make the catch. Pierce is retired. The defense gets it done. The Orioles keep their chance. Our Ram do-up. Davis, Valencia, Beckham.
Yeah, Dylan Bundy in a little bit of a jam in the second inning. Runners on the corners, and how about this heady play? He checks third base, and Pierce just too far off. He guns it over there. Unbelievable effort there by Bundy to get that lead out. Keep this game intact. He gets Travis down, then gets a weak fly ball out for Diaz to escape a second inning jam.
So it's still just a one-run ball game, and Trey Mancini with an outstanding play to keep it that way. Diaz, who was the runner at third base, trying to score. Mancini got him at the plate. Tepera will come on to do the pitching. 1 inning work by Barnes. Couple of hits, 1 strikeout.
Tepera 6 games already this season. Very good earned run average of 3. Big time arm. I mean, he can rush it up there mid to high 90s. And a power slider. He can cut the fastball as well. And of course, that split finger at the end. He likes using that to the lefties. But he's becoming a big piece of this bullpen. The bullpen, if there is a weakness in this Blue Jays team, the bullpen could be a little bit shaky. I'm counting on Tepera to have some big innings.
So we go to the bottom half of the 8th inning, with the Orioles picking up just that 1 run on the Machado home run back in the 3rd inning. And a swing and a miss. Chris Davis. Defensive change made as Rando Grinchuk, who has struggled at the plate, is taking over in right field, and Steve Pearce is out of there. 0-1 count. Shows bunt. Fans applauding because he's got that whole left side open.
Now that'll suck the shortstop in there, try to take that away from Davis, but that's a good idea. Down by a run. Davis not swinging the bat too well. I mean, you'd like to see him hit a home run for sure. He's showing that bunt.
1 for 3 off Tepera, a home run. He showed bunt again, takes the pitch for a strike. So that will take the bunt away. A 1-ball 2-strike count. Valencia, then Beckham are due up. Pedro Alvarez has come out in the on-deck circle. He would be the pinch hitter in the DH role for Danny Valencia. 1-2. Defense backs up in a full shift. Tepera's delivery on the 1-2 is a swinging bunt. Tepera gets it, throws him out. A push bunt, trying to push it towards second base.
Wow. A little interesting there. Hey, you love him thinking about the bunt, that side wide open over on the left side of the infield. The 2 strikes there. You got to take a shot, man. You run into one. The big swing there.
So the out recorded, Tepera diving to get it.
I will say this: if they get by Tepera, that's going to be some trouble. You see him kind of poke at that ball as it works inside, and Tepera makes a diving play. It would have been interesting to see how the defense responded to that bunt.
Here's Alvarez, the hero of the 14-inning ball game in New York, delivering the grand slam. Pitch to him will be fouled off. 1 away in the bottom of the 8th. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live at home, in the office, or on the go. MLB TV. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium. Live baseball, your favorite support devices. MLB TV for details. 0-1 pitch on the way. Alvarez will fight that one off as well. So a couple of foul balls on the first base side. Pedro Alvarez. He's been on 8 times in the 17 at bats that he has had. Looking here just to get on against Tepera. I mean, he'd love to get into one. Tie this ball game up. And if anybody can do that right now in the lineup, it's probably Pedro Alvarez.
Yeah, definitely need some base runners. Pedro's been looking real good at the plate.
Way up high.
Yeah, he came into that extra inning game in the 10th inning, picked up a base hit, a base on balls, and then of course that big grand slam to win it. So he's feeling pretty good at the plate right now. He's real quiet, seeing the ball well.
1 ball 2 strike count on him. 1 down, nobody on. Tepera slows the pace down with coming to the belt set. Martin sets up away, pitches there away, and bounces at 89 miles an hour. And a 2 ball 2 strike count. Alvarez. Gentry, one of the bench players tonight for the Orioles, just kind of getting the blood flowing over there.
Yeah, the base runner, so he can go out there and potentially steal a base. There's Gentry, the monster game yesterday. A little surprised he wasn't in the lineup, but I'll tell you, there's so much value to him coming off the bench.
Yeah, and here's a situation for it. Alvarez gets the base hit. Pedro Alvarez a single with one down here in the 8th inning. The potential tying run on at first base.
Finally, somebody's staying on top of a high fastball, and the Bull doing it here. Oh, it's a slider up there at the top. That's why he smokes this one. Look at him get through that pitch. Just hammering it out there to right field.
So the Orioles, with O'Day getting ready in the bullpen. Chance to have an inning. Try and get it done against the bullpen. Tim Beckham will stand in. Base hit. Grounded out. Tim trying to move the runner around, mostly stay out of that double play. Beckham, one, relay to first, not in time. That shattered bat, the barrel ended up almost at the shortstop position. That slowed down that play made by Solarte at third.
Wow, exploding bat trick, look out. Pieces flying all over the place. Take a look at this stretch at first base by Donaldson. Wow. That is a nice stretch right there, making it real close at first base. Travis turning it up. But Beckham, he does beat that one just by a hair.
So that will keep the inning alive with the runner on at first base. Great try by Travis after he got that to turn that ball over to first. And here is Santander. There are now 2 down. He'll take the pitch up high. That's one of those plays where you see the real change in baseball with a new rule on sliding at second base. I mean, had that been 10 years ago or so, you don't stand there on the bag and make a throw.
No,
you would have gotten wiped out.
Yeah,
on a
for
slide.
sure. You're either going to come across or you're going to stretch and get to the force out because it was kind of a slow developing play. Yeah, a lot of second basemen staying in there.
Fouled way back on a big cut. Santander, like many, struggling with the strikeouts. They're in this ball game, 3 of them. Runner on at first. There are 2 down. Just a good old-fashioned pitching duel here between both the starters and now the pen, and some great defensive plays to back them up. 1-1 delivery on the way. Santana launches one down the line, foul territory. Granderson over, no play.
Fighting off some tough pitches there, trying to wait out a mistake. Now, some good pitching in the sense that pitchers, they're moving the ball around. I like to see that. I mean, it seems like pitchers had gotten away from rushing that fastball inside. Dylan Bundy is really good at working that inside corner and trying to open up that outer edge. Jay Happ, it did the same, you know, and it has such an impact on, you know, hitters just kind of guessing. If a hitter can take one side of the plate, they're going to be at such an advantage, and a lot of pitchers don't like to pitch inside, so hitters just look out there.
1-2 count, runner off first base. Santander puts it in the air to right field. That's back on the warning track, but room and hauled in, maybe just shy of it. Renchick just came on, hauls it in. The Orioles a base hit, lead 1. We go to the 9th. Mike Bordick with you. We've just seen just a really good baseball game. Outstanding pitching in both starters. And for the Orioles, Dylan Bundy. What do you say?
Is he something else or what? It just keeps getting better and better. He's mastered his delivery, that glide down the mound, and then he rushes that arm on top, man. He gets on top of the ball and creates angle. He's not a big guy, but he creates angle, and he locates a fastball better than anybody in the rotation right now. And when he can play those secondary pitches off, and it is fun to watch. I mean, the first 3 games he's had this year have been sensational.
He really goes back to pictures of another day and era where the legs were the name of the game. Big, strong, powerful leg. And you push off on those pitches, and that's what he does.
Absolutely.
And successfully so. Michael Givens will stay on here. Solarte will lead it off. We are in the 9th inning of a 1-run ball game. Now Givens' job to keep it that way. And the pitch. That'll be taken a little bit outside. Their closer, Osuna, in the bullpen.
Now, Michael, tough inning. That last inning, he got himself into some big-time trouble. A big double play. We've seen the Orioles getting out of some huge jams here lately, but Michael kind of right the ship here in this inning. Get back in the zone. I mean, the ability to make some in-game adjustments. That's what Michael's got to do. If he's off a little bit, he's got to be able to recognize his delivery flaw if there is one. It might be just the dang cold weather and the rain. I mean, that could have something to do with it, too.
3-0, and he had a green light. That is the name of the game. We talk about how there is no such thing as a fastball count anymore. There also appears to be no such thing as a take count. 3-0s, everybody's swinging.
Yeah.
Rain has been coming down off and on throughout the ball game, not hard. 3-1 delivery on the way, and he walked him. So the ever dangerous leadoff walk, as Givens has surrendered 2 free passes. The other leadoff walk in the 3rd scored for the Jays. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of the game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles.
You know, that's my brother.
That looks like, it looks like your hat, but it's not exactly the same. It's a different color.
Oh, that's my brother, Mark Muckaluk.
Mark Muckaluk gets the kind of yellowish gold hat there, and you have the orange one. The Muckaluk brothers. Guys used to play hockey with the Hansons.
Yes.
Runner on, nobody out. That walk in the 3rd inning was picked up by Granderson, and 2 outs later, Steve Pearce delivered that home run, which has accounted for the runs. Here is Russell Martin. 0 for 2 and a walk in the ball game for Martin. Michael Givens holding the runner. No big lead. A good slider down and away.
Yeah, beautiful pitch right there. Yeah, well located, outer 3rd. Starts on the plate, works away. Caleb gives him a nice target. Boom, hits his spot.
0-1 the count. Martin 2 for 3 with a home run off Givens. Very short lead at first. Pitch taken outside. It is a miserable night to play baseball with that rain and cold weather. The only saving grace is there's not been a win. 1-1. What a tough game both these clubs playing through. That will be in the outside corner for a strike. He knew it, but just couldn't go after it.
Yeah, heart wasn't in it there. I mean, it's so tough to stick your nose in there on the plate against Michael Givens. A little erratic right now, so that's one issue, but he turns his back to the hitter, makes you feel a little uncomfortable, and then of course that arm slot from the side makes it tough on the righty.
1-2 delivery on the way, and almost. Chris Siegel, home plate umpire, a little flinch of the right shoulder, but not quite enough to get the strike. 7,915 braved the elements to be here tonight. 7,915. God love you. 2 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way, and he couldn't stay off that one. So went right back out there and gets him.
Now, beautiful pitch, trying to paint out there with a couple sliders, and then brings the noise. 95, cuts it loose. Great location, and Martin swinging through that one. And everything targeted on that outer edge. 95 miles an hour to fill it up.
Givens gets his first strikeout. That'll bring Pilar to the plate. Pilar 2 for 11 off Givens. Good power. Runner at first. Blamed pull. Slider away. Same pitch outside for a ball.
Yeah, a little awareness here for the Orioles infield. They've been working on some double plays. They turned a nice one in this ball game, but the speed of the runner here. Pilar flies out of the box. So you see Manny shortened up a little bit out there. Got to take advantage and understand the speed of that runner.
Solarte off first base. Delivery on the way. A real big hack that is fouled back. Pilar putting the full count on that one, and a 1-ball-1-strike count. Orioles trying to keep it at 1, give themselves a chance. Joseph Mancini and Manny Machado would be due up for the Orioles in the bottom half of the 9th inning. John Gibbons has his closer set to go. 1-ball-1-strike count on Pilar. Pilar will pop that one up outside of first base. Davis, not enough room. Top of the dugout.
Another good fastball from Gibbons, tying him up. That one, though, all over the inside corner. Got to change bats there. Might have busted up the bat.
Pilar last year gave the Orioles fits. He reached base 16 of 18 games. Had a .333 on base percentage against the Orioles. 21 hits off Oriole pitching last year, the most Pilar had against any team. 1-2 delivery, hacks at that one. He's going to get another. That'll be a base hit. A slicing line drive. Santander will get it back in. Solarte stops at second, and there are 2 on with 1 away.
Pretty nice swing here, kind of recognizing the slider a little late, and then somehow able to stay inside that. Yeah, carve it over to right field. Put some pressure on once again.
So first and second. Cortez has been up once before. Will hustle it up. Devin Travis, 2 strikeouts, and he has grounded out. And he will go after the first pitch and foul it back. So another big moment here in a 1-run ball game as the Jays try and increase their lead. 0-1, 1 down. They're loaded.
Boy, you know, that one didn't feel good. Right on that left elbow. Givens losing this fastball. Caleb wanting it on the outside corner and just opening up a little too quick. And Travis trying to hold his ground. You know, you got to keep that nose in there just in case it's one of those sliders from the side. And that elbow takes the brunt of about a 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, Toronto's 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position in this ball game. Amides Diaz, a base hit in the 8th inning, and then got cut down at the plate trying to score later. Bases loaded, 1 away. Jays left the bases loaded in the 3rd inning against Dylan Bundy. They got the first 2 on, could not score. Now they'll try it again. Solarte's their lead runner. Pilar at second. Travis on at first base. Diaz started, strike called. So Givens gets ahead of him in a hurry. 0-2.
Good fastball there. Aggressive with those last 2 heaters, up and in, and trying to target down and away with the fastball. Quality strikes.
0-2. Diaz foul tipped. It comes out of the mitt. Real good pitch inside.
Yeah, Diaz just this is how you protect with 2 strikes. Slider spin, he's anticipating it breaking back over the plate and somehow gets a little piece of the bat on the ball.
Axford also has been up earlier in the ball game. As soon as ready, the closer. Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way. Whoa, right over the helmet. He ducks under it. And we'll come back to get the bat.
Well, might stop him from diving. A fastball, another one lost a little bit in the danger zone, up and in, and boy, that is not how you turn away from a baseball. I mean, he's turning into it. And to turn that head the other way, my goodness, and I think a little shock overtook Diaz.
Diaz will come back and pop it up. Silo shot. Joseph gets rid of the mask. He'll put it away. So Diaz retired. That'll be it for Givens, I believe, as Buck Showalter is on his way to the mound. He's going to make the pitching change here with Curtis Granderson coming up. Once the left-hander, Cortez will come on. Bases are loaded. There are 2 down. Jays up by 1. Game 2 of the 3-game set will have Andrew Kashner on the mound against Aaron Sanchez. Our coverage on Masson 2 begins at 6:30 with those extra presented by Southwest, followed by game coverage at 7. All the access you need right here on Masson. Givens out.
Yeah, well, Michael Givens battled through an inning and 2/3. Didn't have the command that we've seen from Givens in the past. Now it's up to Cortez Jr. to get this final out and hope the offense put a couple runs on the board.
Left-hander against Granderson. Granderson has had a much lower average against lefties throughout his career, 223 as opposed to 264 off right-handers. Bases loaded, 2 down. He will take the pitch outside for a ball. Cortez has allowed 2 runs, 7 hits, 3 walks in 4 1/3. Left-handers 2 for 6 off him. The right-handers have gone 5 for 12. So Buck Showalter going with the book on Granderson. 1-0 count. Anderson will take it down low, 2-0.
The lefty matchup here because Cortez can spin it pretty well, but missing with a couple breaking balls and falling behind. So he sticks with the breaking ball throughout this AB, but you got to throw a strike somewhere.
2-0. Light rain falling. Area runners. 2-0 delivery on the way. Ooh-ah. 3-0. Now, if this is not a take pitch, then we've invented a new game.
Yeah, you got to take this one. You got to take this one.
Left-handed Cortez, 3-0. Delivery on the way. Taken for a strike. Well, he gets it in there, and the count goes to 3-1. Curtis Granderson in the leadoff spot. A walk, a single. Strikeout, ground out. Orioles will move the infield around, putting the full shift on against Granderson with a 3-1 count. Runners at every base. 3-1 delivery. Walked in a run. So the matchup does not work. And the free pass will bring Solarte home. Solarte started it with a leadoff walk, and Granderson brings him home with a bases loaded walk.
That one hurts because all in on that lefty-lefty matchup, and now you got the bases jammed with a legitimate power hitter, one of the best in the business, to take on the lefty.
Donaldson coming up. Now a 3-1 ball game as the Jays add a run. And a very dangerous, as Mike said, Donaldson at the plate. And the pitch will be taken for a strike. John Cortez in a no room to maneuver situation. Donaldson 271 lefties last year. He had 10 home runs off southpaws. He has struggled at the plate against Bundy in this game. Pitch is in there for a strike. Grounded out, struck out again, then drew a walk his last time up. Givens, of course, will be charged with that run and responsible for the runners at second and third. Donaldson will take it down low.
A couple good pitches with fastballs working in and out, and I think Donaldson, at least before he got the 2 strikes, was probably just sitting on a breaking ball and taking the 2 fastballs, and now we're probably going to see more breaking balls. I mean, what he's looking for.
He chops one to center field. Adam Jones is looking at his way back, and goodbye. Home run, a grand slam. With 2 down in the top of the 9th inning, Josh Donaldson makes it a 7-1 ball game.
Wow. And just like that, there goes the great ball game. Orioles are going to have a big answer in the 9th inning. But danger with the walks, some inconsistencies from Givens kind of lead to that bases loaded jam, and then mistake. Boy, the mistake walking Granderson. You just keep your fingers crossed here. And here's a fastball up middle. Caleb wants it in off the plate. Donaldson doesn't miss those mistakes. Straightaway center. Adam Jones, I mean, he just turned and watched that one go.
So the 0-1 count, 4th career grand slam for Donaldson. And the pitch will be taken outside on the year, his 3rd home run. And a 9 RBI season now, with the 4 driven in on that at bat. That one looped towards center. Adam Jones will have to come in and play that on a hop. So smoke is on, and Cortez can't get anybody out. He has surrendered a walk, a home run, and a single. And again, the leadoff walk in this inning set it up, and Donaldson took care of it. The grand slam.
Seems to hurt you every time. And Donaldson, man, he might have set Cortez up there, taking those 2 fastballs, and then it's a 2-strike fastball that he jumps on.
7 runs on 9 hits for the Jays. They have batted around. Big inning. Grinchuk getting his first at bat, and will take the pitch down low for a ball. Came in as a defensive replacement for Pierce. Steve had delivered that big blow in the 3rd inning, the 2-run homer that held up. 1-1 delivery on the way. That in the air to center field. Adam Jones on his horse going back, looking up. That'll hit right at the base of the wall. Smoke, who's not fleet of foot, kind of limps into third base where he will stop. Grinchuk's got a double. That'll get him out of a big funk he was in at the plate, and put runners on at second and third, and Roger McDowell's going to go to the mound. McShowalter does not want to use anybody else in the bullpen.
No, not if he doesn't have to. My goodness, got to find a way to get this final out. And we're teeing off right now. Using the big part of the field, and the righties are just lined up. And the Toronto Blue Jays, they are loaded. They got a couple switch hitters in there, but they got a ton of powerful right-handed hitters.
Yep. So they've hit the double-digit mark. 7 runs on 10 hits in the ball game. 2 in scoring position here. The man who started it all with a walk, Solarte stands back in. Second time up in the inning. Breaking ball will be taken inside. Cortez falls behind 1-0. 1-0 count with 2 down. Pitch will catch the outside corner for a strike, and a real disappointing 9th inning and ball game for that matter if the Orioles can't bounce back after that great performance by Dylan Bundy as a starter.
Yeah, you hate to waste those quality starts.
That'll be hit down the line. That one also is going to go foul. So Michael Givens went an inning and 2/3. He gave up the 3 runs, 3 hits, 2 walks and a strikeout. Cortez has surrendered 2 runs on 3 hits so far. Charged to him. 1-2 delivery is going to go to second base. Jonathan Scope on about the 4th hop will make the play over and record the out. 10 batters come to the plate. Givens a leadoff walk, couldn't get through the inning. Donaldson made sure the Jays did with a grand slam off Cortez. That's transparency. Well, the Jays come through with a big 9th inning and take a 7-1 lead. The Orioles will bat and Jays will go to the bullpen again. That big inning though means they do not have to use their closer.
Yeah, so big break for the Blue Jays in that regard. John Axford coming out of the pen, 4 games, a respectable .275 earned run average. Opponents hitting just .231 to start the season off him. Right, he's up to .375, but lefties not much there. At 60% ground ball rate, good number. But, he's just trying to throw some strikes here at the end of this ball game.
Chad Sisco will be the pinch hitter for Caleb Joseph here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Then the top of the order, Trey Mancini. Tepera worked an inning, gave up a hit. That one will be bounced off the plate by Axford. Light rain continuing to fall, but it didn't affect the Jays in that 9th inning, and Donaldson with the grand slam home run. And the pitch will be taken inside for a ball. So Givens an inning and 2/3, 3 runs, 3 hits. Cortez a third of an inning, 2 runs on 3 hits. And the count goes to 2-0 from Axford. And he's going to miss down low.
Well, you know, the Blue Jays were playing some pretty good baseball coming in to this series, and we know about their power. This is now 10 games out of the first 11 where they'd homered at least once. So power throughout. And we've talked about it. If they stay healthy, it's going to be a team to contend with, you know, especially their rotation. They got some big arms.
3-0 delivery on the way, and that'll be a strike. Cisco taking all the way. Count goes to 3-1. Axford on to finish it up. Very last thing you want to do with a 7-1 lead is walk somebody. Ground ball down to first, and he won't there. Comes back from the 3-0 count. Donaldson plays to the bag.
Nice job getting back into the strike zone. A little late movement as Cisco tops that one to first.
Orioles had their chances in this game right now, and 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position and 10 left on base. So throughout the ball game, opportunities, but Happ has got a chance to be the winner. He used the strikeout to get out of jams. Barnes, Tepera, able to get the outs they needed, and the Orioles unable to pick up the big hit.
Yeah.
And neither team did much in that department. The Jays just 1 for 8 and have left 7.
Well, start the ball game, I thought the Orioles right out of the gate were putting some pressure on Happ.
That's going to go into left field for a base hit. Mancini got jammed, but he pulled the hands in, and he's got a base hit, his 3rd of the game.
Yeah, you don't know where to throw this guy, inside, outside. He has incredible plate coverage. You know, rushing a two-seamer in there under the hands and just finding a way. Now, staying tall, no leak forward, and that's the only reason he got a base hit there. If there's any movement going forward, he's either going to swing over it or it's going to be a dribbler to third base. Nice job by Mancini.
Trey gets his second 3-hit ball game of the year. Manny Machado, the home run in the 3rd inning, is 3rd. He's had a couple of hits, a walk, and he has flied out, so he's had a good night. And the pitch taken for a strike by Manny. 1 down, 1 on. Orioles trying to keep it going here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Oh, 1 delivery on the way to him. That goes all the way to the backstop. Martin had an idea about barehanding it and throwing to second, but no. Couldn't get it.
Yeah, got a good kick off the bricks. Take a look here. Spiked fastball, kicks right back to him, and yeah, he had an idea. He was thinking about checking Mancini out at second base, but couldn't handle the ricochet. Now Manny, a good opportunity to pick up another RBI.
One ball, 1 strike count. Runner at second. Ground ball the other way off the fist. Travis will make the play. Mancini moves over to third base. Machado retired. And there are 2 down. Bring up Jonathan Scope.
Got to get a few of these Oriole bats going a little more consistently. Jonathan Scope, one of the hitters. Look to get his bat going a little better at the top of the lineup.
Orioles down with an out to work with. 7-1 in the bottom of the 9th inning. Axford's delivery to him. That'll be down low. Skips into the glove. Washington got a 2-0 win over Atlanta tonight. Scherzer had a complete game shutout, and he stole the base. And the last pitcher to do that was Andrew Cashner.
No kidding.
2013.
I'll be.
Pitch a shutout, complete game, and have a stolen base in the game. Swung out and missed on a pitch riding in. Jonathan Scope.
There's tomorrow's starter right there.
And who's going to be in the ball game tomorrow. Game number 2 of this set. Orioles will drop to 4-7. Toronto will improve to 7-4. Happ will get a win, 2-1, and Bundy will take a tough loss. He will be 0-1 in 3 starts, but in this game, gave up just 2 runs, 4 hits over 7, and struck out 10, walking only 2. Happ, another great start for him as well, a run on 5 hits over 6. He had 9 strikeouts and walked 3. And Donaldson's grand slam, the one that put it out of sight, but it was the former Oriole Steve Pearce who got the go-ahead RBIs, the one that would be the winner in the 3rd inning. A swing and a miss on it. Pearce with a home run, his 3rd of the year, bringing in Granderson, who had walked ahead of him as a leadoff walk in the inning.
Leadoff walks.
They hurt. 2 ball, 2 strike count, 2 down. Axford trying to finish it off. And he does. 2-2 pitch. It is a strikeout, and that will do it as the Orioles, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. The Jays come through with a victory in the first regular season meeting between these 2 teams with a 7-1 win. Game 2 of the 3-game set tomorrow. Andrew Kashner will take the mound against Aaron Sanchez. Our coverage on Masson 2 begins at 6:30 with those extra presented by Southwest, followed by game coverage at 7. This has been a Masson presentation. Tom and Rick coming up after a short break. They'll take a look back at this first game of the set. Final score, the Jays win at 7-1. For Mike Bordick and all of our crew here at Camden Yards, I'm Gary Thorne. Thanks, everybody. Stay dry, stay warm. Adieu.